Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, everyone. Awaken the S-level Golden Crow Totem at the beginning. Chapter 1. Parallel World, Daxia, Dingyuan Middle School. Today is the day to hold the annual Totem Awakening ceremony. Chen Ziyan lay on the table, a little nervous. NMMD, I traveled through time and still got this bad attitude. What a cheat, what a system, what an old man, they are all lies. Chen Ziyan wanted to cry but had no tears. When he opened his eyes 17 years ago, he found that he had traveled to a parallel world that was very similar to his previous life. He thought that he would get the script of the male protagonist of the novel and reach the top of his life. However, in this world, everyone can awaken a totem, and the totem can bring all kinds of strange and powerful powers. The totem awakening ceremony takes place in the first year of high school. However, Chen Ziyan, who traveled through time, could not awaken. This news caused an uproar in the whole school. Another awakening ceremony was performed in his sophomore year of high school, but Chen Ziyan still did not awaken the totem. In other words, if there is no awakening totem this time, then Chen Ziyan really has no hope of awakening the totem. Hey, today is the totem awakening ceremony. Do we want to go and see it? There's nothing good to see. Most people are E or F grade. If there are a few C grade principals, they will be happy for a year. That's right, it's better to spend time improving your skill proficiency and preparing for the college entrance examination. In the classroom, several boys were discussing. The rest of the people were burying their heads in revision. This is the current situation of senior year in high school. By the way, does Chen Ziyan also want to participate in this awakening ceremony? At this time, Huang Mao turned his head and looked at Chen Ziyan, who was sleeping on his stomach in the last row of the classroom, by the window. Ha ha ha, that's right, Chen Ziyan hasn't awakened his totem yet. I would have forgotten it if you didn't tell me. How about guessing, what level of totem can Chen Ziyan awaken? I bet you $100. You still can't wake up. Ha ha ha, all the ridicules fell into Chen Ziyan's ears, like wooden thorns stabbing into his heart, making his breathing become faster unconsciously. Creak, Chen Ziyan clenched his fists tightly. But he didn't look up. Now that he has no totem, if he really gets involved with these guys, he will definitely suffer a big loss. This time, I must awaken the totem. Chen Ziyan secretly swore in his heart. Soon, the classroom bell rang. The few Huang Mao who were mocking Chen Ziyan had no choice but to sit back in their seats. For this lesson, everyone will review by themselves first. The head teacher walked up to the podium and said. Then, his eyes fell on Chen Ziyan. Chen Ziyan, come with me. He wants to take Chen Ziyan to participate in the totem awakening ceremony. Chen Ziyan immediately got up and left with the head teacher. Tisk, 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 tell me, can Chen Ziyan awaken his totem this time? I guess Zan, after all, this is the first time in so many years that I have heard of someone who cannot awaken the totem. There was a lot of discussion in the classroom. Most of them were sarcastic towards Chen Ziyan. I think back to when I first entered the school in the first year of high school. Chen Ziyan's cultural score was the best in the county. Even the Korean school belle took the initiative to pursue him. It was a glorious time. Yes, but it's a pity that the school beauty Han later awakened to AC level totem, while Chen Ziyan didn't even have an F level totem. Those yellow men were sitting in the back row with their legs crossed, their faces full of mockery. On the square, the first-year high school students have already lined up in a long line to undergo totem awakening one by one. At the front of the team, there was a huge crystal ball. Everyone presses their hands on the crystal ball in turn, and they can guide the power in the body to manifest into a totem. Li Hu, level F, go for totem. The recorder said slowly. A black rat totem appeared behind the young man, and then submerged into his body. Han Cheng, E level, wind bird totem. Bai Ming, level F, cow totem. After a long time, some people were happy and some were sad. The long lines are getting shorter. Soon, the freshmen in the first year of high school were almost awakened. There are only 2 C-level totems, a dozen D-level totems, and the others are E-level and F-level totems. The principal on the side nodded, with a hint of joy on his face. With a C-level totem, you have a great chance of entering the top 20 prestigious schools in the country. Chen Zion, this is the last chance to awaken the totem. If it still doesn't work this time. The head teacher said somewhat helplessly. Teacher Li, I'm mentally prepared. Chen Zion nodded solemnly. In the past 2 years, Chen Zion had been ridiculed and looked down upon by everyone because his totem could not be awakened. However, Li Bo, the head teacher, took good care of him. Don't put too much mental burden on yourself. Li Bo stepped forward to comfort him. Chen Zion nodded, but he actually understood in his heart. In this world, without a totem, there is no difference from being disabled. Then, Li Bo took Chen Zion to the awakening crystal. Next to the crystal ball, the principal and others also knew Chen Zion. After all, being unable to awaken a totem is really impressive. However, the principal and others were also a little careless, and they no longer had any hope in Chen Zion's awakening totem. So, Chen Zion slowly pressed his hand on the crystal ball. When I travel to this world, it's impossible for me to be a useless person, right? Totem. Give me a totem. Chen Zion roared in his heart. Congratulations on awakening the universal totem system. The system panel is being generated. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, not awakened. Skills, none. Cultivation, none. Points, 0. Item, none. System. Chen Zion's pupils trembled, and then he was overjoyed. Really, the time-traveling seniors do not deceive me. Congratulations to the host for receiving the novice gift pack ×1. Do you want to open it? Open, open. Chen Zion shouted in his heart, very anxious and impatient. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the totem, Golden Crow S level. Congratulations to the host for getting points, 100. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the talent skill, Samadhi True Fire. Before Chen Zion could finish digesting the novice gift package mentioned by the system, the crystal ball in his hand instantly burst into dazzling light. Chen Zion's entire body was swallowed up in an instant. Yin, a high-pitched cry resounded throughout the world. It seemed to be coming from the depths of the universe. At the same time, the sun shining on the earth seemed to flicker in the sky. This is. Several people subconsciously covered their eyes with shock on their faces. This terrifying aura shocked all of them. The principal and others struggled to loosen a gap with their hands and looked at it. A huge firebird fell from the sky. The huge wings that could cover the sky and the earth were burning with blazing fire. Even if it was just a flickering flame, the aura it exuded would make them tremble with fear. The light is so dazzling. The principal felt that his eyes were deceived. Why does this giant bird seem to have 3 legs? Ha ha ha. When Chen Zion fails to awaken this time, the squad leader will definitely have no reason to keep him to anymore. That's right, he doesn't even have a totem. He couldn't get a single point out of the actual 450 points in the college entrance examination. Even if he got a perfect score in the cultural class, he only got 300 points, and he couldn't even pass the undergraduate level. Ha ha ha. That's right. Hey, don't say that, no college would want a loser without a totem. That's right, ha ha ha. From now on, Chen Zion can't beat those with totems when delivering food. What should he do? Ha ha ha. In the classroom, those Huang Mao who had previously mocked Chen Zion gathered together to discuss again. His face was full of disdain and ridicule, as if Chen Zion was a complete useless person in their eyes. However, at this time, a high-pitched cry with a sense of ancient vicissitudes resounded throughout the world, and the classroom was shaken violently by the sound. Oh my God, what was that sound just now? Everyone in Dingyuan County heard the cry and were amazed. At this time, in front of the awakening crystal ball, the shadow of the giant bird gradually disappeared into Chen Zion's back and slowly dispersed. The terrifying light emanating from the crystal ball also dissipated. The principals were all stunned, and their jaws dropped to the ground in surprise. What level of totem is this? The principal couldn't help but ask. Several people's eyes instantly fell on the person responsible for registration next to the crystal ball. The man swallowed subconsciously and looked closely at the crystal ball. A crack suddenly appeared on the crystal ball, and the next second the crack spread to the entire crystal ball. With a pung sound, the crystal ball turned into countless tiny fragments and scattered on the ground. The crystal ball was burst. The man looked at this scene in great shock, In other words, his totem level has exceeded the limit of the crystal ball. The limit of the crystal ball. The principal and others exclaimed. Awakening crystal balls like this are all arranged by the Ministry of Education. For remote counties like Dingyuan Middle School, the crystal ball arranged by the Education Bureau can only measure B-level totems at best. In other words, Chen Zion's totem is at least grade A. A-level. Chen Zion frowned slightly. The Golden Crow totem in the novice gift pack is S-level. Where is the A-level totem? However, Chen Zion could only look very shocked and at a loss now. Oh my god, A-level totem. The principal was about to jump with excitement. The levels of totems from top to bottom are S, A, B, C, D, E, F. In the entire Great Sha, there are only a handful of people with S-level totems. Each one of them is a peerless power in guarding one side. But the S-class totem has not been born for 10 years. As for the A-level totem, it is inferior to one person and superior to 10,000 people. With this A-level totem alone, it is no exaggeration to say that Chen Zion can already be admitted to Qingbei University, the best university in Daxia. How could the principal not be excited? This is his political achievement. As long as Chen Zion can successfully enter Qingbei University, his resume will shine brightly in an instant. His career, which had been stagnant for many years, can be greatly improved. Therefore, the principal's eyes instantly brightened, staring at Chen Zion like a hungry wolf. Lao Li, you will find a big treasure now. The principal hugged Li Bo with great enthusiasm. Li Bo was a little embarrassed. He is just a small class teacher. When has the principal ever been so enthusiastic to him? Immediately, the principal stepped forward and took Chen Zion's hand. Ziyin, the college entrance examination is only half a year away. If you need anything during this time, just ask. Even if it has nothing to do with study, I will definitely satisfy you. The principal said, patting his chest. Thank you, principal. Chen Zion quickly thanked him. He won't refuse either. Chen Zion also knew how much influence the Golden Crow totem had on him. The principal tried to win over her enthusiastically, but it wasn't until the school bell rang that Chen Zion was finally able to escape. There is a good place in this world. There is no evening self-study in high school, and classes are over in the evening. Chen Zion is very satisfied with this. This is what a school should be like. Back home, mother also prepared dinner. My father sat in his wheelchair and read the newspaper. Zion, today is the day to awaken the totem. Father asked nervously. After all, this is the only chance for his son to awaken. Mother placed the dishes and chopsticks and pushed father to the table. Let's eat first, mother said softly. To her, Chen Zion is still her child regardless of whether he has an awakened totem or not. This will not affect her love for him. However, mother also knows that no one has ever failed to awaken. Therefore, she actually had no hope for this totem awakening ceremony. I just hope that Chen Zion will not be hit by this and be unable to recover. Father, mother, I have awakened my totem, Chen Zion said excitedly. Really? The parents' faces were instantly filled with joy. Great, great, the totem has finally been awakened. The eyes of the two of them couldn't help but become a little moist. The stone hanging in my heart can be regarded as falling down. As long as there is a totem, even if you are the worst grade F and cannot go to college, you can still support yourself in this society. This is enough. They will not put too much pressure on Chen Zion. As long as Chen Zion can live a normal life, that's fine. The principal said that I am an A-level totem. Chen Zion smiled, then put a large piece of braised pork into his bowl and ate it with big mouthfuls. Okay, at least I can be a combat assistant in the future. Father murmured. However, he reacted the next second, with a look of shock on his face. Zion, what did you just say? A-level. The couple once again burst into exclamation. After eating, Chen Zion returned to the room. The parents were still immersed in shock, feeling a little unreal. It takes a little time to digest. I don't know what this system is. Chen Zion murmured. He didn't even have time to understand this system today. Chen Zion looked at his panel. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skill, Samadhi True Fire. Cultivation, 0 points, 100. Item, None. They actually have skills right away. Chen Zion then heard that the previous novice gift package also included a skill. Samadhi is really hot. Generally speaking, after awakening the totem, it often takes 1 or 2 years to master the first skill. People with high totem levels may master it faster, but it will probably take a few months anyway. Samadhi true fire. Chen Zion murmured. It's a pity that it's at home, otherwise I would definitely release it and see how powerful it is. But just by hearing the name, you know that the power is definitely extraordinary. That is the flame in myth. By the way, what are these points? What's their use? Points can be used for lottery draws or to improve your cultivation. Lottery. Improve your cultivation. Immediately, a huge virtual turntable appeared in front of Chen Zion. The prize pool includes various items, skills, totems, etc. Among them, the items produced by the system have 4 rarity levels, namely, white, purple, gold, and red. Most of the items are various props or weapons, etc. What? Totem. Chen Zion can understand the others, but what does this totem mean? System, you mean I can have multiple totems? Yes. But the premise is that the host can extract it. Chen Zion's heart was filled with turmoil. He can have multiple totems. You know, in this world, no matter what, a person can only have 1 totem. No one has ever been able to break this law. Chen Zion slowly clenched his hands, his face full of excitement. I couldn't help but think of the past 2 years, when those yellow guys in the class would mock me from time to time, and even deliberately find trouble and use their hands and feet. And that woman. By the way, how do you improve your cultivation level? Chen Zion asked. After the totem awakens, you can practice through the communication totem and learn the corresponding skills from it. But the way the system is improved is definitely faster. The points and the experience required to improve your cultivation are in a 1-to-1 ratio. The host currently needs to spend 50 points to break through to level 9. There are 9 realms for warriors, with 9th level being the lowest and 1st level being the highest. 50. Chen Zion didn't even think about it and immediately spent his points on improving his cultivation. Congratulations to the host for improving his cultivation to level 9. The system panel is being updated. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skill, Samadhi True Fire. Cultivation, 9th grade 0/1000. Points, 50. Item, none. Tisk, if you want to break through to the 8th level, you need 1,000 points. Chen Zion murmured. By the way, how do you get points? Exchange at equal value. The host can exchange points with equivalent value through various items in reality. The specific point value for item redemption is solely judged by the system. I see. Chen Zion nodded, roughly understanding. But how do you find something that can be redeemed for points? Chen Zion suddenly thought of something and took out 50 yuan from his pocket. How much can I exchange for this? 0.5 points. Good guy. Money makes you stronger, right? Chen Zion crossed his arms. I thought that I had traveled through time but still couldn't escape the Krypton gold system. Good guy. My goose factory's recharge is 1 to 10, how come yours is 100 to 1? The final interpretation right of point redemption value belongs to this system. Chen Zion. After thinking about it, Chen Zion collected the 50 yuan. The 0.5 points are useless. The 50 yuan is better spent on 2 good meals. Then let's try the lottery. 100 points will be drawn once. The probability of single drawing is thank you for your patronage or white items. Every 10 draws in a row, you are guaranteed to get a purple item. Every 100 draws are guaranteed to get a golden item or skill. Every 1,000 draws are guaranteed to get a red item or totem. Understood. 10 draws will give you a purple item, 100 draws will give you a golden item or skill, and 1,000 draws will give you a red item or totem. What the system says is a guarantee. I understand, guaranteeing the bottom every time is the same routine. Chen Zion was no longer surprised. In his previous life, he was a heavy card draw player. If there is a guarantee, then only the guarantee will be made. If I want to get a new totem, I need 100 multiplied by 1,000 is 100,000 points. That's $10 million. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Chen Zion started speechless. This is an astronomical figure for him. The family conditions were not good to begin with. My father was in a wheelchair, and the family's source of income came from my mother's various part-time jobs. It would be good to be able to meet the family's expenses every month, let alone save money. Therefore, Chen Zion has worked extra hard in his studies for more than 10 years. In the college entrance examination, in addition to totems, cultural courses also have a certain proportion. A perfect score of 750 points. Cultural courses account for 300. There are 3 courses: Totem Theory, Basic Knowledge of Demon Clan, and Basic Combat Theory. 100 points for each subject. The remaining 450 points are the actual combat assessment. This is closely related to the totem and skills that have been cultivated. No matter what, with an S-level totem, I definitely don't have to worry about the college entrance examination. Even if you are just an A-level totem, and you have played in high school for 3 years and learned nothing, you can still be invited by the top 10 universities to invite you to attend. Points equal strength, so the top priority right now should be to make money. Chen Zion set his goal. Then he started to think. There are many monsters in the small mountains outside the city. Their furs and other things are quite valuable. Chen Zion murmured. The monsters in small mountain ranges are very weak, and the monsters have no intelligence yet, which is very different from the monster clan. If it's just the periphery, it's no surprise that there are basically only 9th grade monsters. It's decided, I'll go out to the city after school tomorrow to have a look. The next day, Dingyuan Middle School. The news that Chen Zion had awakened an A-level totem had spread throughout the school. Wo-ri, Chen Zion actually awakened a totem, and I heard it's still A-level. Mad, how could this happen? We have bullied him a lot in the past 2 years. What if he takes revenge on us later? The few yellow hairs gathered together, with expressions of fear on their faces. It's okay. Even if it is an A-level totem, it will probably take him several months to understand the skills. At least until then we are safe. That's right, and he's just one person. If a few of us join forces, we won't be afraid of him. Several people nodded, as if to cheer themselves up. But the next second, their eyes softened again, looking timid. Ahem, it's better to mess with him less in the future. Ah ha ha. Several people nodded their heads like chickens pecking at rice. Chen Zion returned to his seat after going to the toilet and was about to lie down on the table and take a nap. At this time, several exclamations came from the front door. Isn't that the Korean school beauty? Why are you here? Is it possible that you are here for Chen Zion? I heard that Chen Zion awakened a totem yesterday. The surrounding classmates were talking a lot, and everyone had forgotten about the past. A beautiful figure walked in. She is about 1.7 meters tall and has a pair of long, white and well-proportioned legs that are exposed to the air through a short skirt, attracting the attention of all the boys, making them irresistible. The owner of these long legs has delicate features, fair skin, and a ponytail. She looks like a great beauty, far better than those so-called celebrities on TV. She is the school beauty of Dingyuan Middle School, Han Cheng. Chen Zion, come out for a moment. Her cold voice echoed in the classroom. Chen Zion slowly raised his head and frowned. Why is this woman here? Chen Zion's face instantly darkened, and his hands clenched into fists. But he stood up and walked towards the front door of the classroom. Chen Zion wanted to see what Han Cheng wanted to do. Han Cheng, the undisputed school beauty of Dingyuan Middle School. When I was in my first year of high school, I met Chen Zion by chance. At that time, Chen Zion, as the first in the county's high school entrance examination, naturally attracted much attention. Coupled with the fact that Chen Zion's appearance almost overwhelmed everyone, Han Cheng naturally started to feel attracted to her. A few days before the awakening ceremony, Han Cheng mustered up the courage to confess. Chen Zion refused. The reason is simple. Chen Zion felt that Han Cheng just liked his appearance. He doesn't like such superficial women. Han Cheng was very sad. But slowly, hatred continued to grow in her heart. During the awakening ceremony, Chen Zion was unable to awaken and everyone was in an uproar. At that moment, Chen Zion fell from the clouds to the bottom and became the laughingstock of everyone. For Han Cheng, her confession to Chen Zion has become her biggest stain. As a result, Han Cheng disliked and hated Chen Zion even more. When Han Qing learned that Chen Ziyan had awakened a level a totem, her face instantly darkened, and she felt mixed emotions. Is there a problem? Chen Ziyan said coldly, putting his hands lazily in his pockets. However, before Han Qing could say anything, a young man beside her stood in front of Chen Ziyan. I'm going. Why is Su Han here too? Is it possible that he and Han Qing want to give Chen Ziyan a blow? Su Han is AC level totem Silver Moon Wolf. I heard that he successfully broke through to the 8th level last week. The school plans to vigorously train him to become the city's top pick. 8th level. So powerful. Even if Chen Ziyan awakens the A-level totem, he probably won't be able to comprehend the skills before the college entrance examination. This time he will probably be in trouble. Hearing the comments around him, Su Han couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth, and a look of pride appeared on his face. Chen Ziyan, I heard that you awakened a level a totem. Su Han asked playfully. Chen Ziyan saw Han Qing's indifferent expression and no intention of speaking, so he looked at Su Han. That's what the principal said. Chen Ziyan responded lightly. Sharp. Su Han gave Chen Ziyan a thumbs up. However, the expression on his face was quite mocking. What a pity. The college entrance examination is only half a year away. I'm afraid you won't even be able to pass the practical test. Su Han waved his hand and said with some gloating. But, you also know that my family has a little money and prepared a few small spiritual beads for me. I have now broken through to the 8th level, and the small spiritual beads are not very useful anymore. Do you want them? Small spirit beads can be used to help practice and can greatly improve the efficiency of comprehending skills. But the price is extremely expensive, one costs 50,000 yuan. Wherever ordinary people can afford it. In no mood. Chen Ziyan said without hesitation, then turned around and wanted to walk back to the classroom. Hey, stop. Seeing this, Su Han became a little anxious and quickly wanted to call Chen Ziyan. If you want to show off your wealth, you can find a few kidnappers or robbers. I have no interest in you. Chen Ziyan turned his head and gave him a cold look. For some reason, Su Han only felt a chill running down his spine. But the next second, another force surged into his body, causing his blood to spurt. Then I'll get straight to the point. This A-level totem is really curious, so I want to see it. Su Han said with a smile, but his smile clearly contained evil intentions. See you. Chen Ziyan frowned. Yes, have a spar with me. Su Han smiled and nodded. Of course, your attack will not be in vain, and I will not bully you with only one move. As long as you agree, I will give you a small spiritual bead. If you can withstand my attack, I will give you another small spiritual bead. How? The corners of Su Han's mouth raised even more. He couldn't think of any reason for Chen Ziyan to refuse. I'll go. Why does Su Han suddenly make such a request? Yes, isn't this a free gift of the little spirit pearl? That one is worth 100,000. As expected of the eldest son of the Su family, his spending is generous. Are you stupid? Is this the problem? Then what's the problem? The question is, why did Su Han want to compete with Chen Ziyan? You know, Chen Ziyan has now awakened his A-level talent. Regardless of his strength, his talent alone is destined to have an unlimited future. Why did Su Han come out to offend Chen Ziyan? The surrounding discussion became more and more noisy. Su Han's brows suddenly furrowed upon hearing this. Something seemed to flash in his eyes. Chen Ziyan also realized that this matter was not simple. Everyone around you can see clearly that if you jump out to offend yourself now, isn't it just to create a powerful enemy for yourself? Even a brainless villain wouldn't do this. But Su Han. No, the problem is not with him. Chen Ziyan glanced at Han Qing next to him. Han Qing's expression was still as cold as ice. He looked like he didn't care about all this. Chen Ziyan frowned slightly. Then he looked at Su Han. Su Han always seemed to have some inexplicable excitement on his face. Or maybe, excited, sparring, when, Chen Ziyan asked. Anyway, if you have a small spirit bead, that's 100,000. At that time, you can directly exchange it for 1,000 points, and you will be able to break through to the 8th level. Anything is fine, it's up to you. Su Han was overjoyed and said quickly. Chen Ziyan thought for a moment, then it will be Friday afternoon, just before the winter vacation. Okay, Su-han nodded excitedly. However, I still have a question. Chen Zion said suddenly. Su-han was stunned for a moment. What's the problem? If I defeat you, how many small spirit beads will you give me? Chen Zion said lightly. From that tone, it seemed like he was talking about something trivial. As soon as these words came out, there was an exclamation of surprise all around. Good guy, is Chen Zion out of his mind? How dare you say such a thing? Yes, although the A-level totem does have pride, he has just awakened, and Su-han has already broken through to the 8th level. Everyone shook their heads, no one thought highly of Chen Zion. This is obvious. A person who has just awakened his totem is fighting against an 8th level person. How could there be any chance of winning? It would be great to take the next move. Ha 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 ha. Su-han laughed heartily. Chen Zion, I really admire your courage. Ha ha ha. Su-han's laughter gradually stopped, and his voice became a little colder. He slowly stood up straight and stared at Chen Zion closely. If you can beat me, then I will give you all 5 small spirit beads. If you can beat me, then I will give you all 5 small spirit beads. It's a deal, Chen Zion said seriously, then turned and walked into the classroom. Han Qing's eyes were as cold as ice. Just looking at Chen Zion's back, a trace of inexplicable viciousness flashed in his eyes. Immediately, Han Qing turned and left, and Su-han followed. Returning to his seat, Chen Zion lay down again. To be honest, Chen Zion felt that this matter smelled weird from top to bottom. Han Qing has always hated herself, and Chen Zion knew it well. However, now that I have awakened the A-level totem, it stands to reason that no one, no matter how stupid, would come together to cause trouble for me. After all, no one would want to offend an extremely gifted genius. But Su-han did the opposite, just like the kind of brainless villain in novels. But Su-han is AC level totem, first in grade, and comes from a wealthy family, so he is definitely not a fool. Forget it, it's better to improve your strength first. Chen Zion couldn't think of a reason, so he simply stopped thinking about it. There is always a solution to a problem. As long as you are strong enough, you don't have to worry about these things. After school, Chen Zion immediately left the county and came to the small mountain range outside the city. Chen Zion took a deep breath and walked in carefully. There are many monsters in the small mountains. But on the periphery, there are some 9th grade or even inferior monsters. There are many people in Dingyuan County who specialize in hunting monsters for a living. After all, the fur, claws, horns, etc. on the monster's body are all very valuable. My samadhi true fire should be enough to solve it. Chen Zion murmured. After a while, Chen Zion saw a white-toothed wolf. 9th grade monster. The White Fang Wolf has the best speed among monsters of the same level. Its main attack method is to bite the enemy with his white teeth. This relatively common monster has detailed records in books. A scholar like Chen Zion naturally remembered all its information in an instant. Hiss! White Fang Wolf stared at Chen Zion fiercely, and crawled forward with his front paws slightly, as if he was ready to rush forward at any time. This is the nature of monsters. As long as they see humans, they will take the initiative to attack, and when they see monsters, they will take the initiative to kneel down and surrender. Then let me see the power of this samadhi true fire. Chen Zion murmured. Immediately, his spiritual power surged, communicating with the totem deepest in his body. Three-legged golden crow. In an instant, a very illusory golden crow appeared behind Chen Zion, like a supreme power that swallowed up the world. It was just a blurry shadow, exuding an extremely powerful aura. The White Fang Wolf instantly fell to the ground, as if it had seen something that frightened it. That is the pressure emanating from the Golden Crow Totem, the absolute pressure on these inferior bloodline monsters. You don't have to do anything, you just need to show up to immobilize the White Fang Wolf. As expected of the Golden Crow, Chen Zion was very excited. Then, Chen Zion spread his palms. A huge flame instantly burned in the palm of his hand. The fire burned extremely violently. What attracted the most attention was the color of the fire. Different from the red color of ordinary flames. The flame in Chen Zion's palm is red gold. The flames burn to the ultimate color. Anyone who sees it will instantly have an idea in their mind, this is definitely the most terrifying flame in the world. Chen Zion had a clear understanding in his heart, and immediately waved his hands forward. The fire in the palm of his hand turned into fireballs, which quickly hit the White Fang Wolf. At this time, the White Fang Wolves were huddled together in fear, with no room to dodge. His pupils were infinitely dilated, and he let out a miserable cry as he looked at the fireballs in the sky. The flames spread across its body in an instant. Ouch! White Fang Wolf roared in pain and then fell to the ground. The flames burned fiercely and slowly engulfed the White Fang Wolf's body. All go! Don't burn the body to me. Seeing this, Chen Zion became a little anxious and quickly stretched out his hand to stop the flames from spreading. As if the flame could hear Chen Zion's will, it immediately gathered together and formed a ball of flame, which separated from the White Fang Wolf's body and flew back to Chen Zion's palm. Then dissipate. Can it be taken back? Chen Zion was a little surprised. Then he immediately ran to the body of the White Fang Wolf. At this time, the White Fang Wolf's corpse had been roasted black, and it also exuded an alluring aroma of barbecue. This samadhi true fire is really overbearing. It will scorch the body of the White Fang Wolf in just a moment. Chen Zion sighed. If it had been just 1 second too late, the White Fang Wolf's body would have been burned to ashes by the true fire of samadhi. System: how many points can be exchanged for this White Fang Wolf's corpse? System testing. Can be redeemed for 50 points. Only 50 points. But it's pretty much the same. The price of a 9th grade monster is almost 3,000 to 4,000 yuan. And the White Fang Wolf's white teeth are still worth another 1,000 or 2,000. Exchange it. Congratulations to the host for earning 50 points. Current points, 100. Chen Zion stretched and continued to move forward. It's not too late now. Chen Zion plans to kill 2 more monsters. More than 100 points a day. You can accumulate 1,000 points in 1 week and break through to the 8th level. At that time, with the same cultivation level, wouldn't it be easy to crush Su Han, AC level totem? Chen Zion thought beautifully. At this time, 2 figures suddenly came out. Who are you? Chen Zion suddenly became alert. I saw that both of them were uncles around 30 years old. No part of their clothes was intact, and there were many wounds with blood. Looking very embarrassed. However, Chen Zion still observed carefully that the damaged clothes of the 2 were quite luxurious and definitely not something that ordinary monster hunters could afford. These 2 guys, didn't they just see the whole process of me killing White Fang Wolf? Chen Zion frowned slightly, feeling very wary and nervous. The leading man was unshaven, but his torn clothes were full of thick muscles. It looks very powerful. He took a step forward and managed a friendly smile. Little brother, was that flame just now your totem skill? Little brother, was that flame just now your totem skill? After hearing the uncle's words, Chen Zion subconsciously took a few steps back. What's matter? Chen Zion looked wary. After all, in this wilderness, when meeting 2 strangers, you must be careful. Little brother, we don't mean any harm. The uncle quickly put on what he thought was a kind smile on his face. However, his unshaven face and thick eyebrows made him look very vicious. Sorry, uncle, I'm a little busy. Chen Zion said, then turned and left. Seeing this, the 2 men looked at each other and sighed helplessly. City Lord, what should we do now? The man who had been silent asked worriedly. This unshaven man is the City Lord of Dingyuan County, Chen Wei. 6th grade cultivation. Sea-level totem flaming tiger. He can almost be said to be the strongest person in the entire Dingyuan County. The flames of that boy just now were extraordinary. Just by glancing at them from a distance, you could feel the terrifying heat. If we can get his help, then there will be a way to deal with the ice spirit snake. Chen Wei said. However, City Lord, that young man has left. It doesn't matter. Judging from his appearance, he should be a student of Dingyuan Middle School, and the flame is definitely not a skill that ordinary totems can comprehend. If you go back and ask Lao Qin, you should be able to get information about that boy. After that, the 2 dragged their embarrassed bodies away from the small mountain range. On the other side, Chen Zion went around in a small circle and killed 2 more 9th level monsters before going home satisfied. A total of 160 points were gained today. Not bad. After returning home, Chen Zion ran into the room after eating. Then, Chen Zion sneaked out again secretly. 3 days later, it's Friday. He had to advance to the 8th level as soon as possible within these 3 days. In this case, Chen Zion would feel more at ease. Although he is an S-level totem, he also has the extremely terrifying skill Samadhi True Fire. But Chen Zion didn't know how big the gap between 9th grade and 8th grade was. It would be embarrassing if the car overturned. It didn't matter before, but now that I have awakened the totem, how can I experience that kind of humiliation again? Therefore, Chen Zion had to vent his anger. Think of it as a complete end to the ridicule and glares he has received in the past 2 years. Taking advantage of the darkness, Chen Zion slipped out of the city gate again and entered the small mountain range. In the mountains at night, the level of danger rises sharply. Therefore, Chen Zion only wandered around the periphery. Hangwang Rabbit, a 9th grade monster, is good at hoarseness and extremely fast, but it is afraid of flames and sunlight. A giant rabbit as tall as his thigh appeared in front of Chen Zion. 2 sharp and slender teeth were exposed to the air. It looks very weird. Samadhi is really hot. Chen Zion waved his hand. A golden fire shines. The Hangwang rabbit died instantly. Chen Zion withdrew the flame in time. Congratulations to the host for earning 40 points. Congratulations to the host for gaining 53 points. Congratulations to the host for earning 47 points. Congratulations to the host for earning 45 points. Tired until 1 or 2 in the morning, Chen Zion felt a little tired. But one night of hunting was worth it, and I got nearly 200 points. At this rate, we should be able to reach the 8th level before Friday. Chen Zion breathed a long sigh of relief. He looked at the full moon hanging high above his head. It's getting late, it's time to go back, Chen Zion said before leaving the small mountain range. The next day, Dingyuan Middle School office. What? A level. Chen Wei, the lord of Dingyuan City, opened his mouth wide and was stunned, with a look of disbelief on his face. The principal was sitting on a chair with his legs crossed and a rather proud expression on his face. Yes, this is the genius I carefully cultivated. The principal raised his hand, gently pushed the frame of his glasses with his middle finger, and a light flashed through the lenses. His originally greasy face suddenly gained a hint of depth. You are acting like shit in front of me. Chen Wei sat directly on the principal's desk. Old Chen, can you pay attention to your image? The principal rolled his eyes at him with disgust. Then he took out an information sheet from the drawer and handed it to him. No, look and see if he is the person you were looking for. Chen Wei took it and looked at the photo above carefully, confirming that it was the boy he saw in the small mountain range yesterday. That's him, Chen Zion. Why does it sound familiar? Oh, I remembered. Is that the boy who failed the awakening ceremony twice? Chen Wei had heard about Chen Zion before. I see, I didn't expect that he actually successfully awakened this time, and also awakened an A-level totem. Chen Wei was very shocked. At this time, the principal had an extra teacup in his hand. However, he also became a little confused. From your description, his flame should be a skill of comprehension. But didn't he just awaken the totem? How could he understand the skills so quickly? The principal's heart was filled with turmoil. You know, he was famous when he was young, but it took him more than 3 months to master his first skill. What's the matter? After all, this little guy is an A-level genius, so naturally he can't be compared to us. Chen Wei didn't think so much. At this moment, he was very happy. This year's political achievements can be added to another glorious achievement. Hey, I almost forgot about business. Chen Wei slapped his forehead violently, secretly annoyed that he had forgotten what he was here for. Quick, get him here, I'll talk to him. Video of Chen Wei can't wait to say it. The principal curled his lips. Is this your attitude when asking for help? A bright long knife suddenly appeared out of thin air in Chen Wei's hand. Where do you come from with so much nonsense? You are moaning. A few drops of cold sweat instantly shed from the principal's forehead. Then, he stood up carefully. I'll just call you. Do you need to be so rude? But when the principal walked to the door, he suddenly remembered something and turned his head sharply. His face became very serious and dignified. Let's say it first. If he is willing to help you, he must ensure his safety. Otherwise, you don't have to come to me in the future. After that, the principal took long strides and ran away. As soon as he finished speaking some domineering words, his momentum suddenly disappeared again. I know, it's so annoying. Chen Wei curled his lips and said. I have suffered so many injuries, and I don't know how to care. The principal found Chen Zion and brought him to the office. Go in, the principal said and then left. Chen Zion walked in with some doubts. The principal only told him that someone wanted to discuss something with him, and it was up to him whether he would agree or not, so he shouldn't be too nervous. You're finally here. Chen Zion stepped into the office door, and a tall figure immediately enveloped him. Chen Zion took a closer look. Isn't this the malicious uncle he met in the small mountain range yesterday? What is this guy's background? He was able to find this place and even invited the principal. Uncle, who are you? Chen Zion took a few steps back gently and asked with a wary look on his face. Ahem. Chen Wei was still very enthusiastic and directly pulled Chen Zion over and sat on the sofa. Chen Wei's hand was very strong, and Chen Zion couldn't break away at all, so he could only let him drag him. But after all, he was in school, so Chen Zion wasn't worried about what this guy would dare to do. Let me introduce myself first. I am the Lord of Dingyuan County, Chen Wei. Chen Wei forced out a smile, but it looked very inconsistent with his huge and strong body. It turns out to be the Lord of the city. Chen Zion quickly stood up and said. No wonder the principal personally found him here. It turned out that this uncle was the city lord. In Chen Zion's impression, the city lord seemed to be a 6th grade powerhouse. As the saying goes, one level of cultivation is one level. Don't look at Chen Zion and the others, some of them have already broken through to the 8th level in their first year of high school and in their 3rd year of high school. The reality is that the further back you go, the more difficult it will be to break through. The barriers between the 9th and 8th grades are the easiest to break through, and the 8th to 7th grades can also be broken through over time. But from 7th grade to 6th grade, it's completely different. It requires talent, hard work, and luck. Most people are awakened, unless their totem is too bad and they have no future in cultivation, but you will stay in the non-stream or 9th level realm for the rest of your life. 50% of people can break through to the 8th level. Then, only half of them can break through to the 7th level. However, there may not be even 1 in 100 7th grade people who can break through to the 6th level. Even those who have been admitted to the top 10 prestigious universities dare not say that they will definitely be able to enter the 6th grade in the future. Did I scare you yesterday? I'm really sorry. Chen Wei smiled sheepishly. Chen Zion cursed in his heart. Not only yesterday, you also scared me just now. But on the surface, Chen Zion still waved his hand and said quickly, no, no. The principal said that the city lord has something to do with me. I wonder if it is. Chen Zion asked. The thing is like this. Chen Wei began to talk. A very precious spiritual tree appeared in the small mountain range. I just need the fruit on it to practice cultivation. However, there is a very powerful 6th grade demonic beast entrenched under the spiritual tree. You saw it yesterday. We escaped back in embarrassment and were no match for that demonic beast. Chen Wei sighed helplessly. 6th level monster. Chen Zion was shocked. Generally speaking, because of the strong physical strength of monster beasts, their overall strength is stronger than that of humans in the same realm. Then the city lord is looking for me? Chen Zion asked. I thought that after the city lord said so much, he wouldn't want to help him deal with the monster, right? Chen Wei's face suddenly became serious. Ziyin, I'm here just because I hope you can help me deal with that monster. Chen Zion was really shocked. How can this be? I'm not the city lord, are you sure you're not joking? I'm sure I'm not kidding. But, that is a 6th grade monster. Even the city lord can't do anything about it. How can I help? Of course I can help. Just listen to me. Chen Wei quickly added and explained. That 6th grade monster is good at ice attributes, and is extremely powerful in both attack and defense. Moreover, that beast's bloodline seems to be unusual. My flame tiger totem can't restrain its ice attribute. After hearing this, Chen Zion probably understood. Yesterday, Chen Wei should have seen his samadhi true fire. One of the most powerful fires that can burn all things. Therefore, if they had their own samadhi true fire, Chen Wei and the others would basically be able to kill the 6th grade monster. Only, after all, it is a 6th grade monster. In a battle between 6th grade experts, if he was not careful, he would be affected, and he would be crippled even if he was not dead. Chen Zion was very worried about his own safety. So, ahem, Lord City Lord, you also know that it is a 6th grade monster after all, and it is really too dangerous for me. Don't worry, we will definitely protect your safety. You only need to use your flames to destroy the ice spear and ice shield of the monster. But, don't worry, you don't have to go up to fight. You just need to release your flames from behind. I will fight with that monster and it will never affect you. But, Chen Zion was still hesitant. When Chen Wei saw this, he couldn't help but feel a little confused. I have patted my chest to ensure that he is safe, why don't you promise yourself? Immediately, Chen Wei suddenly realized. Oh, I almost forgot. Ziyin, I definitely won't let you go in vain this time. Hearing this, Chen Zion, who was hesitating with his head lowered, his eyes suddenly lit up. Coming. In this way, there are a total of 12 spiritual fruits on that spiritual tree. I make the decision, and I will share one with you after everything is done. Chen Wei said. This. Chen Zion lowered his head and murmured. Chen Wei was stunned for a moment, thinking that Chen Zion was still hesitating. As a result, Chen Zion held his hand the next second. Lord City Lord, it's a pleasure to cooperate. When Chen Wei took a look, he saw a bright smile appearing in front of him. Ha ha ha, happy cooperation. Chen Wei laughed. This guy is quite interesting. Then when do you have time? Chen Wei asked. It depends on whether the city lord is in a hurry or not. If you are in a hurry, you can finish school today. Chen Zion said. Then this afternoon, we'll wait for you at the city gate. Chen Wei said. It seemed that he was a little anxious. Good. Young Master Su, I heard that you were going to compete with that Chen Zion, and you placed 5 small spiritual beads as a bet. Ha ha ha, those few small spirit beads are of no use anyway. It's good to play with them. I just want to see the A-level totem. Su Han was chatting with a classmate. After chatting for a while, the man left. Su Han sat in his seat, his expression gradually becoming serious. What is going on? Why were you so excited yesterday? Immediately, Su Han slowly looked at the pretty figure sitting in front of the classroom. Han Cheng, it seems that this woman is not as simple as she seems. After school, Chen Zion went directly to the city gate. Chen Wei was already standing there waiting for him. Chen Zion was a little confused, wondering if the person next to the city lord didn't come yesterday. Is it just the two of them this time? Don't worry, as long as you can help me deal with that annoying ice cube, that ice snake is no match for me. Chen Wei patted his chest confidently and said, all right. Afterwards, Chen Wei took Chen Zion into the small mountain range. Along the way, Chen Wei spread out his aura without restraint. The surrounding monsters took cover. The entire small mountain range is basically filled with 8th or 9th grade monsters. As for the ice spirit snake mentioned by Chen Wei, it is probably the only 6th grade monster in this mountain range. Soon, the two entered the depths of the mountains. A green pool came into view. There is a depression in the center of the pool, and a seemingly ordinary fruit tree grows on the depression. However, it is worth noting that the fruit tree bears more than 10 fruits that are all green and polished like jade. It looks extremely strange. This thing is definitely worth money. Chen Zion's eyes lit up. Hiss. Under the fruit tree, there is a python with a blue body. It was as thick as Chen Zion's thigh. There are blue and white lines all over the body. If you look closely, you can see that they are formed by the condensation of ice crystals. It is precisely because of the existence of the ice spirit snake that the entire pool seems to have entered a cold winter. It's freezing cold. The ice spirit snake had naturally sensed the auras of the two of them, and began to spit out letters, exuding a chilling chill all over its body. Frost formed on the lake surface around the depression. Slutty snake, let's see how I deal with you today. Chen Wei put his hands on his hips and cursed angrily, then rolled up his sleeves and prepared to take action. The ice spirit snake spiraled up and opened its bloody mouth. 4 fangs were exposed to the air. In an instant, a cold air visible to the naked eye emerged from its mouth and began to spread to the surrounding areas. Wherever it passed, even the air condensed. Zion, it's up to you. Good. Chen Zion had a thought. The whole body instantly ignited with golden flames. In an instant, the burning feeling enveloped the entire lake. Even the ice that had condensed on the body of the ice spirit snake melted instantly. Hiss! Ice spirit snake felt as if there was an extremely powerful oppression coming from between heaven and earth. At the same time, a deep sense of fear came from the deepest part of the bloodline. Upon seeing this, Chen Wei immediately jumped up. His huge body like a hill jumped into the air, and a huge flaming tiger totem suddenly appeared behind him. The totem emits a dazzling red light, as if it is burning. Violent! Chen Wei shouted. A powerful aura instantly emitted from his body. His muscles were so strong that they were about to burst his clothes. Then, he clenched his right fist tightly, as if all the power was concentrated in his fist. Fire fist! The words fell. Chen Wei suddenly blasted out in a circle. In an instant, fist-shaped flames like meteorites falling from the sky erupted from Chen Wei's body. The overwhelming force fell towards the ice spirit snake. Hiss! The ice spirit snake twisted its body flexibly and flicked its tail in front of it. Another extremely strong cold air instantly solidified the air in front of it. A thick ice wall formed. The terrifying ice breath struck again, and Chen Wei's face instantly became extremely solemn. This ice wall, like a copper wall and an iron wall, troubled him for a long time. He could not break through this ice wall every time, and in the end his spiritual power was drained away bit by the ice spirit snake. Then he was defeated. Ziyin! Chen Wei shouted loudly. Chen Ziyin immediately understood what he meant and quickly activated the spiritual power in his body. Samadhi is really hot. A thought. The flames around him instantly condensed into a ball, and the golden flames instantly illuminated the entire depression. The Samadhi true fire turned into a huge meteorite and directly hit the ice wall in front of the ice spirit snake. The flames suddenly burst into flames. The ice wall instantly melted into a puddle of water. Even so, the Samadhi true fire did not go out, it directly ignited the air in the area where the previous ice wall was, and continued to spread towards the ice spirit snake. The spirit snake was immediately frightened and quickly dodged, not even a trace of the flaming fists falling all over the sky. Boom! The dense flaming fists fell, and the ice spirit snake was swallowed directly. Under such a heavy blow, the ice spirit snake died. Let me go, Zion, what kind of anger do you have? The aura emitted is so strong, seeing the ice spirit snake is like a mouse seeing a cat. Originally, I thought about asking you to help deal with its ice spears and ice shields, but it turns out that your fire can directly burn him to death. Chen Wei said with some excitement and shock. The true fire of Samadhi is indeed the supreme sun fire in the world, capable of burning all things and never going out. However, Chen Zion's strength was too weak. He alone couldn't even hit the ice spirit snake with flames. Maybe it's because my totem is more powerful. Chen Zion smiled. Immediately, their eyes were attracted to the spiritual tree. The two of them jumped lightly and landed under the spiritual tree. Chen Wei's face beamed with joy and he waved his hand. The 12 spiritual fruits fell directly into his arms. Chen Wei took 2 of them and handed them to Chen Zion. Give. Chen Zion took it, a little surprised. Because originally I only gave 1 to myself. Sorry, I need these fruits urgently, so I can only give you 2. But don't worry, I will send you another sum of money. Just treat it as if I bought a few fruits from you. Chen Wei said quickly. Lord City Lord, what do you mean by this? Didn't I already agree? Just give me 1. No, you take the big credit this time. No matter what, you have to take half of the fruit. Chen Zion was a little surprised. He really didn't expect Chen Wei to be so candid. But to be honest, Chen Wei found this treasure place, and it was Chen Wei who killed the ice spirit snake in the end. Chen Zion felt that 2 fruits were completely enough. But, why don't you want it for free? Thank you very much, Lord City Lord. Chen Zion quickly thanked him. Anyway, as the City Lord, Chen Wei is definitely not short of money. Well, don't worry, I will definitely give you the money according to the market price, and I won't deduct a penny. Chen Wei said boldly. If he could buy this fruit with money, would he still take such a big risk to come here? This fruit has a price but no market. In contrast, Chen Wei didn't feel sorry for the money at all. Moreover, Chen Wei is also quite optimistic about Chen Zion. He can't help but be extremely talented, and his personality is not pretentious, which suits him very well. Soon, the two returned to the city. If you have the chance, come to the City Lord's mansion for a drink. Lord City Lord, I am not yet an adult. Oh, I forgot. After the two separated, Chen Zion returned home. Immediately, Chen Zion couldn't wait to exchange the fruit. System, how many points can be exchanged for? System under evaluation. Fire Spirit Fruit, 1 can be exchanged for 2,000 points. Chen Zion's pupils trembled. In other words, he had a full 400,000 in his hand. He has never seen so much money. Here I go, this fruit is so valuable, I'm making a fortune this time. Chen Zion was very excited. Exchange them all. Since Chen Wei still wanted to give him money, he just exchanged these 2 fruits for it. Congratulations to the host for earning 4,000 points. Improve your cultivation. Do you want to spend 1,000 points to break through to the 8th level? Yes. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the 8th level. For a moment, Chen Zion felt a warm current surge inside his body. The spiritual power instantly poured out of the body like a flood that opened. This feeling is wonderful. Panel is being updated. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skill, Samadhi True Fire. Cultivation, 8th grade 0.20 points, 3,395. Item, none. Let me go, it actually costs 20,000 points to break through to the 7th level. Chen Zion was dumbfounded. How long would it take to save for this? After all, it's not possible to encounter such a good thing every time. There are more than 3,000 points left. Chen Zion murmured and began to make calculations in his mind. Let's do 10 draws in a row to test the water. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. 9 thank yous in a row for your patronage. It's true, it's so dark. Chen Zion was speechless. Let's see what purple stuff the guarantee can give me. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Spiritual Shield Purple. Psychic Shield. Chen Zion was stunned. What is this? Spiritual Shield. Can resist a series of mental attacks such as charm and dizziness within 2 realms. Please ask if you want to wear it. Wear it. Although it didn't sound like it would be useful, he hadn't heard of any means of mental attack. But it's better than nothing. Now there are more than 2,000 points left. Chen Zion was hesitating whether to continue the lottery. Give it a try and your bicycle will turn into a motorcycle. 10 more draws in a row. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Still 9 thanks for your patronage. Chen Zion was a little speechless. He really didn't give him anything except a guarantee, right? Didn't it mean that there are also white and blue level items? This system is too dark. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Broken Limb Rebuilding Pill ×1. Broken Limb Reconstruction Pill. Amputated Limb Reshaping Pill. It can regenerate amputated limbs, reshape the corresponding meridians, and cleanse the meridians and cut the marrow. Chen Zion was very excited. Doesn't this mean that my father can completely get rid of the wheelchair? Over the years, my father has always blamed himself for his disabled legs. All the burden of the family falls on the mother alone. Now, Chen Zion finally has the ability to change all this. At this moment, Chen Zion felt even happier than when he awakened the Golden Crow Totem. But, do I have to find a suitable reason? Let's find a chance to use it for Dad on the weekend. Chen Zion murmured. Continue to pump 10 times in a row. The huge phantom turntable started spinning again. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. 9 in a row or still thank you for your patronage. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Limited Time Breakthrough Card Purple ×1. Limited Time Realm Breaking Card. You can temporarily obtain the cultivation level to cross a realm, which lasts for 2 hours. Note, it can only be used by people below the 6th level. This thing is good, it can directly gain the power to cross a large realm. Another strong trump card. Chen Zion nodded with satisfaction. Although there are restrictions, it can only be used below the 6th level. But Chen Zion is only at the 8th level now, and it is estimated that he still has a long way to go before he reaches the 6th level. What a fruitful day. Chen Zion stretched out contentedly, then lay down on the bed and went to sleep. Then, the next few days, Chen Zion peacefully attended school during the day, and sneaked out of the city at night to hunt monsters outside the small mountains. Because his strength has reached the 8th level, Chen Xian's efficiency in hunting monsters has also improved. In 3 days, I earned nearly 1,000 points. Name: Chen Xian. Totem: Golden Crow S level. Skill: Samadhi True Fire. Cultivation: 8th grade 0/20,000. Points: 1410. Items: Limited time breaking card purple ×1, broken limb reconstruction pill purple ×1. Chen Xian plans to save his points and use them to draw prizes or improve his cultivation when necessary. Jingle bell. The school bell finally rang. Everyone's faces were very excited and happy. Because the ringing of this bell also means the beginning of winter vacation. For Chen Xian, this also means that it is time to fulfill the agreement. His appointment with Su Han was today. This matter has spread throughout the school, and many people are even secretly placing bets. Somewhat strangely, the school seemed to turn a deaf ear to this matter. At this time, everyone in the classroom had their eyes focused on Chen Xian. Chen Xian looked at the clock hanging in front of the classroom and stood up slowly. Then he hung his school bag on his shoulder with one hand, put the other hand in his pocket, and walked out of the classroom with an indifferent expression. If nothing else, Chen Xian is really handsome. What, are you a nymphomaniac now? I haven't seen you getting close to me before, but now that she has awakened a level a totem, how can she fall in love with you? He was very handsome before, but that time. Many girls started chattering. Many people are a little annoyed. Why didn't they get close to Chen Xian in the first place? Most of the boys were curious and excited. Chen Xian is really cool. I wonder if he will be this cool again soon. What the hell, Su Han is the number 1 in his grade and is already at the 8th level. How many days has it been since Chen Xian awakened his totem? He will probably be half disabled after one move. That's right, Chen Xian was a little reckless this time. I read that in novels, the protagonist should usually be obscene and develop for a period of time before they slap the villain in the face. Hey wait, what did you say? Do you mean Chen Xian is the protagonist and Su Han is the villain? I didn't mean that, I was just giving an example. Soon, many people followed Chen Xian cautiously. They all also want to see the rumored A-level totem. Of course, many of them also wanted to see Chen Xian make a fool of himself. When they arrived at the playground, Su Han and several people were already standing there. What, Han Qing didn't come? Chen Xian asked with some confusion. After all, in the final analysis, the cause of this incident was still Han Qing. Could it be that Han Qing felt that there was no suspense in this competition, so she stopped coming? But that's not right. Didn't Han Qing just want to make herself sick? How could such an occasion not come? Su Han's expression changed instantly, but he soon regained his composure. Ahem, it's better to stop talking nonsense, Su Han said, looking a little impatient. Chen Xian frowned slightly. The feeling Su Han gave him today seemed a little different from the past few days. That's okay, Chen Xian nodded. He's not a nagging person either. But have you brought enough little spirit beads? Chen Xian asked. He had to confirm it in advance, lest he find out after a while that Su Han didn't bring enough small spirit beads. Don't worry, I've brought enough. Su Han chuckled twice, raised the corners of his mouth slightly, and sneered somewhat mockingly. However, you don't really think that you have a chance to get the little spirit bead, do you? Hearing Su Han's words, Chen Xian snorted disdainfully, and then said, if you can get it, let me see the real seal. Immediately, the two stood opposite each other, dozens of steps apart. The people around them exited into a large enough space. Tell me, can Chen Xian survive one move? I think Su Han has already broken through to the 8th level. If Chen Xian doesn't have the 9th level cultivation, it will be difficult to resist the opportunity. That's right, even if Chen Xian awakens an A-level totem, it's only been a few days. He has to cultivate but not cultivate, and he needs skills but no skills. How can he resist? A dense crowd of people had gathered around. Everyone was talking about it, but no one was optimistic about Chen Xian. This is also normal. In their eyes, Su Han was an 8th level cultivation, C-level totem, number 1 in the school, and his strength was obvious to all. As for Chen Zion, although he has awakened the A-level totem, how long has it been since? Without cultivation or skills, he is just an ordinary person. How can he have any chance of winning? Let's talk first. My move is very powerful. If it hurts you, I won't be responsible. Of course, you can also choose to admit defeat in advance now. Su Han said coldly, with an extremely contemptuous tone. Chen Zion sneered twice. You don't have to worry about this. You should just worry about your 5 little spirit beads. As soon as these words came out, everyone suddenly felt that Chen Zion was extremely arrogant. After hearing this, Su Han smiled contemptuously and shook his head. Then you can't blame me. Immediately, he activated the spiritual power in his body. Powerful pressure surged out of his body. A totem emerged from behind him. Sea-level totem, Silver Moon Wolf. For totem owners, whether it is strength, speed or explosive gains, they are the best among totems of the same level. Therefore, among the known sea-level totems, Silver Moon Wolf is also among the best. Su Han is also quite proud of his totem. He turned out to be a key training target of the school and was expected to compete for the top spot in the city's college entrance examination. However, this was before Chen Zion awakened the Golden Crow totem. Come on, let me see your A-level totem, Su Han said excitedly. Even he has never seen a totem above level B. As you wish, Chen Zion said lightly, slowly mobilizing the spiritual power in his body. The spiritual energy flowed through his meridians, like rivers of stars intersecting in his body. Then the spiritual power spurted out, and a golden totem was outlined on Chen Zion's back. Unlike the solid Silver Moon Wolf totem behind Su Han, the totem behind Chen Zion was very blurry. Just a shadow, but the endless radiance like the sun and the terrifying pressure shocked everyone. What's going on? I feel like there's something strange about my totem. That's right, me too. I feel like my totems are a bit unable to be embodied. I'll go, me too. Is this the innate suppression of low-level totems like us by A-level totems? Everyone was talking about it. Everyone was shocked to feel that their totem was being suppressed. Even Su Han is the same. I didn't expect this guy's totem to be able to suppress the Silver Moon Wolf totem. He is indeed an A-level totem. Su Han couldn't help but feel envious. It would be great if I could have an A-level totem. However, even if you are an A-level totem and have no cultivation or skills, how can you resist my attack? Immediately, Su Han's eyes flashed and he suddenly raised his palm. Go quickly. This is the first skill he learned from the Silver Moon Wolf totem. It can increase his speed to a very terrifying level. In an instant, Su Han's body disappeared from where it was. The speed was so fast that only an afterimage was left behind. I'll go, this is too fast. As expected of Su Han, he has used this skill so skillfully. The crowd burst into exclamations. Chen Zion narrowed his eyes slightly. The 8th level cultivation has improved Su Han's physical fitness to a very strong level. Coupled with the blessing of skills, Su Han's speed has indeed reached a very terrifying level. In this high-speed state, Su Han's instant burst of power was enough to penetrate a boulder. If it were Chen Zion who had just awakened his totem a few days ago, he would definitely not be able to dodge. Moreover, Su Han might be able to directly break Chen Zion's bones with one punch. However, today's Chen Zion is also at the 8th level. Moreover, the S-class totem strengthens the body even more. Boom! A terrifying energy burst out in front of Chen Zion. At the same time, Su Han's fist also followed. However, at this moment, Chen Zion suddenly raised his hand and blocked Su Han's fist with his palm. Boom! A terrifying wave of air erupted with the two of them as the center, and everyone around them was knocked back several steps. When they stabilized their bodies and saw the scene in the middle, they were stunned. Oh my god! This is incredible. Am I dreaming? How is this possible? Everyone was shocked. Chen Zion just blocked Su Han's terrifying punch with his palm. They asked themselves, if they were in Chen Zion's position, they would definitely not be able to receive this punch. But just like that, Chen Zion caught it lightly. How could they not be shocked by this? How can it be? Su Han's pupils were dilated to the extreme, and the palm with slender fingers and fair skin in front of him seemed to have become a big mountain. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't move it even a bit. Su-han was extremely shocked. Then, he suddenly stepped back dozens of steps and distanced himself. The tip of my right fist is still aching. The power he had just released with all his strength was actually counterattacked by the other party. How can it be? Didn't this guy just awaken to the A-level totem a few days ago? Su-han's eyes widened and it was difficult to accept this reality for a while. Chen Ziyan gently raised his eyelids, and his long eyelashes seemed to shine a little in the sun. Then, he withdrew his right palm. His expression was very indifferent. There didn't seem to be any mood swings due to taking Su-han's move. Next, it's my turn, right? Next, it's my turn, right? Chen Ziyan's unwavering voice sounded. In the dead silence of the playground, it penetrated everyone's hearts like a thunder. Everyone's body shook violently. Su-han frowned and quickly activated all the spiritual power in his body. Feeling the rising momentum emanating from Chen Ziyan, Su-han became increasingly panicked. Didn't this guy just awaken Totem a few days ago? Why are you so strong? This is unscientific. Su-han roared in his heart. He mobilized all his spiritual energy. Spiritual energy gathered on his arms. Both arms emitted a faint light. Su-han quickly crossed his arms in front of him, trying to block the terrifying momentum coming towards him. Chen Ziyan's momentum continued to rise, and the spiritual power in his body surged, forming substantial air currents. His hair and clothes were constantly dancing in the air current. At this moment, everyone held their breath and stared at Chen Ziyan's movements. I saw Chen Ziyan slowly raising his arms with a cloud hand. Then he suddenly opened his palms. Aha! 2 flames instantly burned in the palm of his hand. The 2 flames were only a few dozen centimeters high. However, no one present dared to have the slightest contempt. The moment these 2 flames ignited, the temperature of the entire playground suddenly rose a lot. Everyone felt a burning breath. Let me go, Chen Ziyan, what kind of fire is this? Why does it feel so hot? Yes, and look, his flame is actually golden, it looks so magical. While everyone was fanning their clothes to dissipate heat, they marveled at the samadhi true fire in Chen Ziyan's palm. It was the first time for everyone to feel such a powerful flame. Su-han looked at the samadhi true fire in Chen Ziyan's palm through the gap between his arms, and felt a sense of fear in his heart. At this moment, feeling the hot breath, Su-han knew that the gap between himself and Chen Ziyan was extremely large. If this flame were to strike down, I would definitely not be able to parry it. However, with so many people watching around him, how could the proud Su-han put down his face and admit defeat? Mad, that Han Qing. What did you do that day to make me get into trouble with this guy for no reason? Su-han roared in his heart. That day, as if he had drunk fake wine, he followed Han Qing to find Chen Ziyan inexplicably, and then inexplicably made a spar with Chen Ziyan. That woman was responsible for everything. To be honest, Su-han was somewhat envious of Han Qing's beauty. However, this does not mean that Su-han is a stupid idiot. For a genius like Chen Ziyan who has awakened an A-level totem, Su-han will definitely come up and make friends with him immediately. But something happened that day that made him offend Chen Ziyan. Su-han cursed fiercely. At this time, Chen Ziyan's eyes were as cold as ice, and then he gently moved his hands forward. 2 flames roared towards Su-han instantly. Su-han's pupils were dilated to the extreme. Looking at the 2 approaching golden flames, he was so frightened that he closed his eyes. Boom! 2 blazing flames instantly fell at Su-han's feet. Then, with a swish, it ignited into a circle of flames, trapping Su-han inside. Ah! Su-han felt his spiritual energy flowing to the skin all over his body, trying to resist the scorching air waves. However, Chen Ziyan's samadhi true fire was so easy to resist. Because it was naturally inconvenient for Chen Ziyan to kill someone in school, so he couldn't directly use the samadhi true fire on the opponent. Otherwise, Su-han would turn into a mummy in less than half a second. Ah! The true fire of samadhi burned even more intensely. Su-han's body surface continued to secrete a large amount of sweat. But as soon as it was secreted, the sweat evaporated instantly. Su-han only felt that his skin seemed to be drying up, and even the moisture in his body was about to be evaporated. Do you want to continue? Chen Ziyan said lightly. The sound passed through the flames and landed on Su-han's ears. Su-han quickly shouted, "Stop! Hear the words." Chen Zion raised his right hand. The flames around Su-han instantly gathered into a small flame, flew back to Chen Zion's palm, and then dissipated. But the heat around him couldn't dissipate for a while. Ahem. Su-han suddenly knelt on the ground, covering his chest with his right hand. "Boss, water." At this time, one of his younger brothers ran over quickly and handed him a bottle of water. Su-han took it and drank it directly. In less than 2 seconds, the bottle of water was drank. "You lose," Chen Zion said lightly. "I know." Su-han wiped the water from the corner of his mouth and kept breathing. After calming down for a few seconds, Su-han slowly looked at Chen Zion. As expected of an A-level totem, it is indeed extremely powerful. "I am convinced that I lost." When the words fell, the outcome of this discussion was finally decided. Everyone suddenly burst out into exclamations. "Oh my god, it's unbelievable that Chen Zion is so strong. Oh my god, wasn't Chen Zion the totem that just awakened a few days ago? Why is he so strong? Is this an A-level totem? It's really terrifying." Then, Su-han walked over and took out a sandalwood box from his bag. "There are 5 small spiritual beads inside. I am willing to admit defeat." Chen Zion's eyes flashed with excitement, but he immediately hid it and no one noticed it. Chen Zion still maintained his aloof appearance. "Good." Chen Zion took the sandalwood box and nodded with satisfaction. Then, Su-han suddenly took a few steps forward and whispered in Chen Zion's ear. "I don't want to be against you. I don't know what happened that day. I'm very sorry. However, I think it may be the woman Han Qing who is behind this. You have to be careful." After saying that, Su-han covered his chest and coughed a few times, dragging his somewhat embarrassed figure out of the crowd. Han Qing. Chen Zion narrowed his eyes and his eyes became a little gloomy. He also felt a little strange that day, and something was indeed wrong with Su-han's state. If you put it this way, there might be something wrong with that Han Qing. For some reason, Chen Zion always felt that this woman might be a bit troublesome. At this time, Han Qing walked out of the classroom with a book under her arm. She seemed to sense something and glanced in the direction of the playground. A strange and sinister look flashed through her beautiful eyes. Then, she left expressionlessly. Well, let me tell you, this kid is not simple." On the roof of the building, Chen Wei leaned against the fence with a proud look on his face and raised his eyebrows at the principal. "What a monster. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would really wonder if he had been hiding for 2 years." The principal sighed. At the same time, I was excited and excited. Chen Zion's fire should be his first skill. This aura makes my heart palpitate even from such a distance. In this year's college entrance examination, Yuan Middle School will probably be a blockbuster. The principal was extremely excited. If Chen Wei hadn't been by his side, he might have been dancing with joy by now. At this time, Chen Wei's eyes narrowed and his face became a little solemn. "Although this kid didn't use much spiritual power, you should have felt it, right?" The principal nodded. "Chen Zion is already at the 8th level." The two gasped. "Is this even a human being? It will reach the 8th level in a few days." After returning home, "System, how much can I exchange for this little spirit bead?" System under evaluation. 1 small spirit bead can be exchanged for 500 points. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion nodded. "Almost the same, the market price of Xiaolingju is around 50,000. Exchange them all. Congratulations to the host for earning 2,500 points. Close black lens bracket. How wonderful. Now I have nearly 4,000 points." Chen Zion was very happy. 1/5 of the way to the 7th grade realm has been advanced. But the premise is that Chen Zion has to resist the desire to draw cards and accumulate points safely. "Zion, it's time to eat." Mother shouted from outside the door. Coming. Chen Zion ran out. After dinner, Chen Zion decided to give his father the amputated limb reconstruction pill. "Dad, let me give you something." As he spoke, Chen Zion handed the amputated limb reconstruction pill to his father. "What's this?" "Broken limb reconstruction pill." The name is straightforward. Father Chen's pupils suddenly dilated to the extreme. Mother Chen on the side was also extremely surprised. "Ziyin, do you mean that this elixir can make your father's legs better?" Mother's voice was trembling. That's right. Chen Zion nodded. His eyes were extremely certain. The parents also knew Chen Zion's character and would not make such a joke casually. That means, this pill can really make Father Chen stand up again. Father Chen tremblingly picked up the broken limb reconstruction pill and his eyes were completely attracted to it. Since his legs were lost, he has been depressed for several years. He became a disabled person, and the burden of the family fell entirely on his wife. Looking at the exhausted figure of his wife, over the years, he had considered committing suicide numerous times. He didn't want to drag this family down anymore. Zion, where did you get this? Although the elixir could restore his legs, Father Chen still remained calm. He wanted to find out the origin of this elixir. Otherwise, if Chen Zion got it through some shady method, he would never take it. Dad, don't worry, this elixir was given to me by the Lord of the city. Chen Zion smiled and explained that he also knew what his father was worried about. I did a favor to the Lord of the city before, and in order to thank me, he gave me this broken limb reconstruction pill. When Chen's father and Chen's mother heard this, they swallowed subconsciously. Lord City Lord, that was the most powerful person in the entire Dingyuan County. His son could actually get to know the Lord of the city and be able to help him. Isn't this a bit too magical? Mom and Dad, don't forget, your son has awakened to a level a totem. Chen Zion said with a proud look on his face. Yeah. Zion has awakened a level a totem. The couple felt relieved. After all, it is an A-level totem, so it is reasonable for the city lord to want to be friends with him. Then husband, please eat quickly. Since there was no question about the origin of the elixir, Mother Chen said anxiously. He seemed to be even more anxious than Father Chen. Okay. Father Chen nodded repeatedly, his hands shaking violently. He was extremely excited. I was finally able to get out of this wheelchair. Well, swallow the broken limb reconstruction pill in one gulp. The next second, Father Chen felt a warm current burst out of his body and flowed throughout his body. Especially the two streams of warmth flowing into the legs seemed to be particularly hot. Soon, the numb legs gradually began to feel numb. This. Father Chen was extremely excited. This tingling feeling is getting clearer and stronger. Chen Zion and Chen's mother also looked nervous and did not dare to say a word for fear of disturbing Chen's father. Ah, Father Chen groaned subconsciously. Then, there was a sudden burning sensation in both legs. Father Chen stood up instantly reflexively. The burning sensation was gone. Father Chen looked at the wheelchair at his feet, with an elevated perspective, and was so excited that he didn't know what to say. Husband, Mother Chen rushed over and instantly wet the clothes on Father Chen's chest. I'm sorry, wife, I have made you suffer all these years. Father Chen said guiltily, his eyes becoming moist uncontrollably. Upon seeing this, Chen Zion had a faint smile on his face and quietly walked into the room. Give parents a separate space to talk. Lying on the bed, Chen Zion couldn't help but reveal a happy smile on his face. Then he fell asleep contentedly. Late at night. The night wind was unusually biting. A figure slowly walked out of the shadows. He raised his head and looked at the crescent moon that was almost obscured in the night. The moonlight shines on her face, reflecting her delicate facial features. If Chen Zion was present, he would definitely be able to recognize this person. Han Qing. Walking out of the city gate, Han Qing walked straight into the depths of the small mountain range. But the surrounding monsters hid far away, not daring to pry. It was like seeing something very terrifying. It's safe on the road and no one noticed. Han Qing stopped and said in front of her. As soon as he finished speaking, a figure jumped out. Ji. The voice gave out a very sinister smile. Why do you suddenly want to contact me? The figure slowly approached and raised his hand to touch Han Qing's fair and delicate face. The moonlight shines, and it is a palm full of hair, with sharp claws that are 10 centimeters long. These are not human hands. A trace of disgust flashed in Han Qing's eyes, but she did not dodge. She suppressed the nausea in her heart. Dingyuan Middle School has awakened an A-level totem this time. What? A-level totem? The figure withdrew his hand and his body was shaken. I didn't expect that such a remote small county could actually awaken to a level A. Ha. God help me. If you kill him, it will be a great achievement. There is a chance of breaking through to the 5th level. You can even be appreciated by adults. The figure became more and more excited and agitated. That guy is very strange. He has awakened twice before, but he has not awakened a totem. But he has only awakened for a few days, and he is actually able to defeat an 8th grade C-level totem owner. Han Qing said, "Oh, this is interesting." But the figure's voice didn't seem to care much. "It's just the 8th grade, it can't cause any trouble." The figure murmured, and then thought for a while. After a while, he finally said, "In this way, you can find a chance to lure him to the mountains tomorrow, and you won't have to worry about the rest." That, Han Qing seemed to want to say something. "Don't worry, as long as you kill this guy, I will naturally help you solve your problem." Then, the figure disappeared into the darkness. Han Qing lowered her head, various emotions flashing in her eyes. Then she turned around and left the small mountain range. Winter vacation has begun. Father went out early in the morning. Now that his health is better, he can't wait to find a job to reduce the burden on his family. Chen Zion and his mother originally wanted him to rest for a while before going out, but seeing how excited his father was, they didn't stop him in the end. At this time, the principal suddenly called Chen Zion. "Ziyin, can you come to school today?" Chen Zion looked confused. "Isn't this all a holiday? Why didn't you talk about something yesterday?" However, Chen Zion agreed, quickly packed up and left home. The school is not far from Chen Zion's home. More than 10 minutes later, Chen Zion arrived at the door of the principal's office. "Headmaster, Ziyin, come in quickly and sit down." Chen Zion walked in and sat in front of the principal. "Sorry, I asked you to come over here during the holiday." The principal had a kind smile on his face. "Principal, is there something important?" Chen Zion asked curiously. Hey. The principal smiled, and then took out a bank card from the drawer. "Here is the 800,000 yuan that Guy Chen Wei asked me to give to you. Keep it." Chen Zion took it. This was the reward Chen Wei had promised him before. Chen Zion didn't hesitate and put his bank card in his pocket. 800,000. For Chen Zion, this was an unimaginable sum of money. Hoo. Chen Zion took a few deep breaths to make himself less excited. "You have to get used to it, there will be more money in the future," Chen Zion said silently in his heart. At this time, the corners of the principal's mouth raised even more, looking a little uncoordinated. "Ziyin, the principal has prepared some things for you." As soon as he finished speaking, the principal took out a brocade box. Chen Zion's eyes were instantly drawn to him. Inside, there are 2 spiritual beads. The principal said with a smile. "The middle spirit bead is much more precious than the small spirit bead." Small spirit beads are generally used by low-ranking or 9th grade warriors for practice. But at the 8th level, the effect of the small spirit beads is minimal. From the 8th to 7th grades, middle spirit beads with higher spiritual purity are used. The price of the middle spirit bead is much more expensive than the small spirit bead. One costs 300,000. In other words, the principal made a move and directly gave him 600,000 yuan. "Principal, what are you?" Chen Zion didn't rush to take it. "It's impossible for the principal to give such a valuable thing to me for no reason, right? Even if it were given away for free, I would not accept it. For a genius like you, it's normal for the school to invest some resources in you." The principal naturally knew what Chen Zion was thinking. He stood up, walked to Chen Zion, and patted his shoulder gently. "When you become famous in the college entrance examination, our Dingyuan Middle School will also benefit greatly. In comparison, these 2 spiritual pearls are a bit insignificant. Of course, there is one thing that may require your help." Chen Zion said quickly, "Principal, you tell me, I will definitely try my best to complete it." In this way, he could take away the 2 spiritual beads with peace of mind. How could Chen Zion refuse? It's like this. During the beginning of next semester, the principal of No. 1 middle school will bring several students to hold an exchange competition. It's said to be an exchange competition, but it's actually just to show off. In recent years, the gap between us and the No. 1 middle school has become wider and wider. We lose miserably in the exchange competition every year. So, I hope you can give the people in the No. One middle school a good lesson in this exchange competition and promote the reputation of our Dingyuan number. One middle school. The principal shouted. It seemed that he wanted to release the anguish in his heart all at once. Don't worry, principal, I will definitely make a fuss about the school when the time comes. Chen Ziyan said firmly. City number. One middle school is the best school in the city. It is much better than Dingyuan Middle School in terms of students and resources. However, it has not yet reached the level of crushing the strongest one in the city's number. One middle school should only be AC level totem, but the number and average level are definitely better than those in Dingyuan Middle School. Don't relax during the winter vacation. Practice well and review your cultural classes. The principal said, but he wasn't worried. Because there was no totem in the first 2 years, Chen Ziyan put all his thoughts on cultural classes. The cultural class has reached almost full marks. As for combat strength, you've reached level 8 in less than a week. Do you have anything to worry about? Don't worry, principal. Chen Ziyan put away the brocade box, chatted with the principal for a few more words, and then left. The fluctuations of spiritual power in this boy's body are not at all frivolous, and are even more solid than those of ordinary 8th grade warriors. The principal nodded with satisfaction. Originally, he was worried that Chen Ziyan might have swallowed some pills to forcibly improve his cultivation. In this case, the foundation will be seriously damaged. But just now he deliberately sensed Chen Ziyan's spiritual power fluctuations, and his breath was very stable. Call. After the winter vacation, I don't know how much surprise you can bring me. System, exchange these 2 spirit beads. System under evaluation. 6,000 points can be redeemed. Do you want to redeem it? Exchange. Congratulations to the host for earning 6,000 points. Chen Ziyan was very excited. With this, he had nearly 10,000 points. Then, he took out the bank card from his pocket. There are 800,000 points in the card. If all are redeemed, it will be 8,000 points. If I go hunting in a small mountain range for another week, I will soon be able to collect 20,000 points. Forget it, let's give this money to my parents. Chen Ziyan thought for a while and put away the bank card. Points can be exchanged for other things, but this money cannot be exchanged for points. The family conditions were not good to begin with, so Chen Ziyan planned to use the money to subsidize his family. Walking downstairs, Chen Ziyan suddenly found a figure hesitating there. Take a closer look. Han Qing. Why is this woman here? Chen Ziyan frowned and couldn't help but think of what Su Han said before. It's really haunting, Chen Ziyan murmured with some disgust. Then, he walked over. Han Qing also caught a glimpse of Chen Ziyan, and a hint of joy flashed across her face. She ran directly to Chen Ziyan. What's up? Chen Ziyan said with disgust. Seeing Chen Ziyan's expression, a hint of viciousness flashed subconsciously in Han Qing's eyes. Although she hid well, she was still captured by Chen Ziyan. I'm here mainly to apologize for what happened last time. I didn't know Su Han would be so impulsive. Han Qing's tone was very coquettish, her beautiful eyes were filled with autumn water, and she looked so pitiful that one couldn't help but feel pity. However, Chen Ziyan knew that this woman was lying. I became even more vigilant. It is detected that the host is suffering from a mental attack, charm. The spiritual shield has been successfully resisted by the host. What? Suffering a mental attack, or charm? Chen Ziyan's heart suddenly trembled. Immediately, his eyes became extremely solemn. In other words, the coquettish woman in front of her is using her skills on herself, and she is still charming. Fortunately, he has a mental shield, otherwise, he would definitely be attacked without the slightest defense. Chen Ziyan immediately thought of Su Han's strangeness before. That makes sense. Su Han probably fell under Han Qing's charm that day, which is why he acted so abnormally. What on earth does this woman want? Chen Ziyan became very alert and quickly took a few steps back. Seeing this, Han Qing's face instantly darkened. This guy can actually resist my charm. Han Qing was shocked. Ever since she understood this skill, she has never failed against someone of the same level. Is Chen Ziyan's strength greater than mine? Han Qing quickly rejected this idea. On the surface, Han Qing is at the 9th level, but in fact she has already broken through the 8th level, and her true strength is probably still above Su Han. It is impossible for Chen Ziyan to reach the 7th level. Therefore, Han Qing believes that it is mostly the credit of the A-level totem. As expected of an A-level totem, Han Qing sighed in her heart, and at the same time, a trace of jealousy and resentment arose in her heart. Seeing Chen Xian's appearance, Han Qing also knew that her methods had been exposed. She simply stopped pretending, her face was extremely cold. Chen Xian, let's wait and see. Han Qing said coldly, then turned and left. Chen Xian looked solemn. At the same time, I was very confused. What the hell is going on with this crazy woman? Isn't it just that I rejected you once in the first year of high school? Is it necessary to keep pestering me? Chen Xian didn't understand. What kind of hatred or grudges were there? What on earth does this woman have in mind? Chen Xian squinted his eyes and looked at Han Qing's leaving figure. He didn't know why, but Han Qing always made him feel a little dark and dangerous. Like a poisonous snake in the jungle that spits out its seeds. Hate comes from love, Chen Xian murmured, but then shook his head. In fact, he and Han Qing didn't have much interaction. Han Qing was just in love for the first time in her first year of high school. Where does love give rise to hatred? Forget it, let's avoid this crazy woman for a while. Chen Xian murmured and went upstairs. When he got home, Chen Xian found that his parents were back. Dad, didn't you go out to find a job? Why did you come back so soon? Needless to say, of course I have found a job, so I came back. Father Chen said with a proud look on his face. So fast. That's not the case. Father Chen raised the beer in his hand, raised his eyebrows at Chen Xian, and then drank it all. He hadn't been this happy for a long time. Mother Chen on the side also kept smiling, her face filled with happiness and joy. Ziyin, I haven't mentioned it to you in these years. In fact, your father and I were very powerful when we were young. Back then, I was admitted to one of the top 10 universities in the country. At that time, I was very high-spirited. Father Chen gradually became drunk. Chen Xian laughed, thinking that his father was drunk and bragging, and didn't take it to heart. Mom, don't let Dad drink too much. He has good legs, so be careful. No. Immediately, Chen Xian put the bank card on the table. Mom, this is the scholarship given to me by the school and a little reward from the city lord. You can take it. The mother was stunned for a moment, then laughed. Xian, take it. Chen Xian quickly put the bank card into his mother's hand. Take it, I'm not short of money now. Chen Xian said. Ziyin is sensible. Well, I will help you save this money. The mother smiled and put away the bank card. Suddenly something occurred to her and she asked, by the way, are there several thousand in it? Chen Xian smiled proudly, 800,000. Wah, what, 800,000? Mother Chen was stunned for a moment, and Father Chen, who was still a little drunk at the side, also suddenly woke up. Mom and Dad, don't forget, I am an A-level totem. Don't question the value of an A-level totem. Chen Xian said proudly. The two nodded stiffly, although they also knew how rare A-level totems were. But after seeing so much money at once, I still couldn't get over it for a while. Okay, I'm going back to my room first. After Chen Xian finished speaking, he returned to the room. Yeah, that's an A-level totem. Father Chen suddenly lay down on the table, as if he suddenly remembered something. His right hand suddenly clenched tightly into a fist. Seeing this, Chen's mother gently stepped forward and hugged him. Late at night, small mountains. What are you talking about? You can't handle such a small thing. Trash. The hoarse voice was very angry. But, I don't know why he is immune to my charm. Han Qing said a little aggrievedly. The figure didn't speak anymore and seemed to be thinking about something. After a while, his arm moved, and a piece of blood-red hair slowly floated over. Han Qing caught it quickly. Follow him. Once he walks out of the city gate, immediately inject spiritual power into this hair, and I will rush over to kill him. The figure said coldly. If you can't even do this little thing well, you won't want this month's antidote. This sentence fell into Han Qing's ears, and the latter suddenly became extremely frightened. The originally pretty face twisted together instantly. Don't worry, sir, I won't make any mistakes this time. Han Qing said quickly. It better be. The figure uttered a cold word before disappearing into the darkness again. Han Qing put away the bloody hair, turned around and left. At this time, Chen Zion was hunting monsters outside the mountains. Samadhi is really hot, Chen Zion shouted loudly. Suddenly the jungle suddenly burst into flames. The saw-toothed rat in front of him was instantly swallowed up by the flames. His fat body fell heavily to the ground. Seeing this, Chen Zion quickly withdrew the Samadhi True Fire. Exchange. Congratulations to the host for earning 55 points. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion nodded with satisfaction and looked at the moonlight. It was already a little late. I've earned a little over 200 points today, and it's almost time to go back. So, Chen Zion planned to leave. At this time, a figure slowly walked out of the jungle. Chen Zion felt the movement behind him and turned around reflexively, with a vigilant look on his face. Han Qing. Han Qing walked out of the shadows, her face full of excitement. I didn't expect to meet you here. It really takes no effort at all. Han Qing laughed loudly and then clenched the red hair tightly in her palm. Spiritual energy is injected into it. The red hair instantly glowed intensely. The surrounding area was shrouded in blood. Han Qing, what do you want to do? Chen Zion shouted quickly and at the same time used all his strength. Looking at the red light that enveloped the surroundings, Chen Zion felt an ominous premonition in his heart. Chen Zion, I'm sorry, I can only let you die. Han Qing laughed strangely and laughed loudly. Han Qing, is there something wrong with you? Didn't I just reject you once? Do I have to make such a big mistake? Chen Zion asked. I thought to myself that this woman is indeed a lunatic. Immediately, Chen Zion didn't bother to talk to this crazy woman anymore and just picked up his legs and ran away. Run, do you think you can run away? Han Qing sneered. As soon as Chen Zion raised his leg, he felt a powerful pressure coming down on him. It's like a huge mountain is pressing down on you, leaving him completely unable to move. Oops, what's going on? Chen Zion was shocked. Quickly activate your spiritual power. The shadow of the golden crow appeared again behind him. The moment the golden crow totem appeared, Chen Zion felt that the pressure on his body had dissipated a lot. Oh, it's interesting. At this time, an eerie and hoarse voice echoed in Chen Zion's ears. Chen Zion was instantly horrified. Then, a figure fell from the sky and landed in front of Han Qing. Chen Zion took a closer look and saw an ape-like creature with blood-colored hair all over its body. However, there are sharp claws on both hands that apes should not have. This is the sharp-clawed demon ape of the demon tribe. Chen Zion's pupils trembled and he said in shock. The appearance of the demon clan is no different from that of the demonic beasts. But the demon clan has the same intelligence as humans, while the demon beasts only have animal instincts. It can be said that the demon clan is an aggregate that combines the advantages of demon beasts and humans. Therefore, the demon clan is more powerful than humans and demon beasts. And due to the suppression of blood, the monster beasts will subconsciously obey the monster clan. Countless wars broke out between humans and monsters. After countless years of fighting, a relatively stable pattern was finally formed. The demon clan occupies the northern part of the continent, while the human clan guards the territory on the southern side of the continent, bounded by the largest mountain range in the center. But now, a monster appeared in front of Chen Zion. Han Qing, you moved very quickly this time. The sharp-clawed demon ape licked its paws excitedly, and its eyes fell firmly on Chen Zion. It was like seeing a tasteless prey. Han Qing, I didn't expect you to collude with the demon clan. You traitor to the human race. Chen Zion scolded angrily. The demon race and the human race have been fighting for so many years, and there is only endless blood feud between the two races. Traitors are the most hated. You'd better think about how to survive. Han Qing sneered twice, not paying any attention to Chen Zion's insults. Chen Zion was extremely disgusted with Han Qing in his heart and spat viciously. If before, Chen Zion just thought that this woman was a little crazy and wanted to stay away, so now, Chen Zion wanted to kill her immediately. But Chen Zion was not carried away by anger. The top priority is to deal with the demon clan in front of us. Chen Zion swallowed and began to make calculations in his mind. Most of the cultural classes in school for so many years have been about the demon clan. The clawed demon ape is among them. Various information about the sharp-clawed demon ape had already appeared in Chen Zion's mind. As an ape-like monster, the claw demon ape is very powerful in strength and speed. Coupled with its pair of sharp claws, its attack power is also greatly increased. It can be said that the claw demon ape has almost no shortcomings. Mater, it happens to be a claw demon ape, so this is a bit tricky. Chen Zion was speechless about his luck. Kid, if you want to blame me, just blame yourself for awakening the A-level totem. The clawed ape smiled cruelly. Then, it stopped talking nonsense and rushed forward instantly. The huge bloody body suddenly burst in front of Chen Zion. The right palm suddenly slapped, and the sharp claws were like deadly flying knives, making people shudder. Chen Zion suddenly took a few steps back, but the air wave burst out from the palm of the sharp-clawed demon ape still knocked him away. Puff! Chen Zion stood up, his throat sweetened, and a mouthful of blood suddenly popped out. The S-level totem strengthened Chen Zion's body to a degree far greater than that of fellow practitioners. But the clawed demon ape is a monster, and its physical strength completely overwhelms the human race. Chen Zion was no match for him at all. Chen Zion sensed the aura of the sharp-clawed demon ape. There was a storm in my heart. 6th grade. This sharp-clawed demon ape is actually at the 6th level. It is 2 realms higher than Chen Zion. He is on the same level as the city lord. Hateful. Chen Zion cursed secretly. If it were just a 7th level monster clan, Chen Zion would still have the confidence to deal with it. But this is a 6th grade demon clan. There is no chance at all. It seems that we can only use that breaking card. Chen Zion murmured. Boy, you are indeed an A-level totem. Your reaction speed is already close to that of a 7th level warrior. But it's a pity that I am a 6th grade ape master, so you are dead. The sharp-clawed demon ape stopped talking nonsense. The spiritual power in his body began to circulate at high speed, and his right palm instantly transformed into a huge bloody palm print. The overwhelming force came towards Chen Zion. That terrifying aura almost annihilated everything around it. Use the limited time breakthrough card. Open black lens bracket successfully used. Close black lens bracket. In an instant, Chen Zion felt a powerful spiritual power spurting out of his body. Chen Zion suddenly raised his hand, and his right arm was instantly wrapped in golden flames. Roll! Chen Zion shouted angrily, releasing his terrifying momentum without any reservation. The clawed demon ape was knocked back. What happened? Why did this guy suddenly burst out with such powerful power? The sharp-clawed demon ape was very shocked. Chen Zion was only at the 8th level before, but why was he suddenly promoted to the 7th level? And this momentum is not much weaker than that of the 6th grade. Han Qing on the side also widened her eyes and subconsciously covered her mouth with both hands. What kind of freak is this Chen Zion? The totem he awakened a week ago broke through to the 8th level in a few days, and now he has exploded with the power of the 7th level. Chen Zion's body burned instantly. However, the golden flame seemed to have become a part of Chen Zion's body and did not damage his clothes. The sharp-clawed demon ape's eyes became serious. I don't know why, but when it looked at the golden flame, it subconsciously felt a trace of fear in its heart. Maid, you have become more and more cowardly in recent years. A little kid can scare you. The sharp-clawed demon ape was a little angry at his failure. He concentrated his strength on his right arm, jumped up, and slammed towards Chen Zion. The terrifying power instantly condensed in its mountain-like body and suddenly burst out. That power, even if Chen Wei comes, we must avoid its edge. But this time, Chen Zion finally saw clearly the movements of the sharp-clawed demon ape. The clawed demon ape is indeed powerful, and Chen Zion can only be smashed into pulp. But the premise is that the sharp-clawed demon ape can hit him. Samadhi is really hot, Chen Zion shouted loudly, and the golden flames around him instantly gathered. At this time, the sharp-clawed demon ape was still stagnant in midair. The next second, Samadhi true fire appeared on the body of the sharp-clawed demon ape. Ah! The body of the sharp-clawed demon ape fell heavily, and it burst into painful wails. How can it be? At this time, Han Qing screamed with disbelief on her face. Immediately, she ran away. You scum of the human race. Chen Zion looked at her with disgust and raised his hand. A ball of golden Samadhi true fire shot out from the fingertips and hit Han Qing's back. Ah, Chen! Han Qing still wanted to ask for mercy. However, in just an instant, she was completely burned by the true fire of samadhi. No trace is left behind. Oops, forgot about the clawed demon ape. Only then did Chen Zion react and quickly took back the samadhi true fire from the sharp clawed demon ape. Although only a few seconds had passed, the body of the sharp clawed demon ape had been burned clean. Only a few broken claws remained. System, how many points can I exchange for this? Chen Zion was extremely upset. Why didn't he take back the samadhi true fire earlier? This sharp-clawed demon ape is a demon clan with a 6th level cultivation level, and is covered in valuable treasures. As long as it's intact, it's probably worth several thousand points, right? Can be redeemed for 2,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion was shocked. Unexpectedly, the few remaining claws can be exchanged for 2,000 points. Yes, after all, the sharp claws of the demon ape are definitely the most valuable material. A limited time boundary breaking card can be exchanged for 2,000 points, but I still made a profit. Chen Zion suddenly felt much better. Open the system panel. Panel is being updated. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skill, Samadhi True Fire. Cultivation, 8th grade 0.20,000. Points, 13,120. Items, 5. There are already 13,000 points. The distance to 20,000 is getting closer and closer. In this way, Chen Zion can break through to the 7th level during the winter vacation. Chen Zion felt very excited when he thought of this. You know, in the college entrance examination over the years, those with 8th level cultivation have been able to enter the top 10 schools in the country. If the totem level were higher, it would almost be possible to lock in Qingbei University, the strongest university in Daxia. With his A-level totem, Chen Zion is already certain to enter Qingbei University. Coupled with the 7th level cultivation, he is probably the top scorer in the national college entrance examination. Be steady, you are just a top scorer in the college entrance examination, do you need to be so excited? Chen Zion muttered, but then his face couldn't contain his excitement. How can the top scorer in the national college entrance examination not be excited? Call. Chen Zion returned home quietly. The living room was dark. At this point, my father and mother had already fallen asleep. Chen Zion quietly closed the door, put on his shoes, and walked towards his room. Dang, the lights in the living room suddenly turned on. Chen Zion's pupils shrank subconsciously, and he saw his father sitting on the sofa, looking at him with his legs crossed. Dad, Chen Zion was a little at a loss. Unexpectedly, I was caught by my father. Come over, Father Chen said slowly, without any emotional fluctuations in his tone. Chen Zion sat over. Tell me honestly, did you go hunting monsters in a small mountain range? Father Chen said, then took a sip of tea. Chen Zion's heart skipped a beat, wondering how his father had guessed it all at once. Seeing this, Chen Zion had no choice but to nod. I knew it. Father Chen looked very understanding. I'm afraid a lot of the money in that card was earned from hunting monsters, right? You kid, you are so reckless. Chen Zion didn't refute anything, lowering his head like a child admitting his mistake. Father Chen lectured him for a long time and finally stopped. Well, he sighed slowly. Ziyin, I know you want to reduce the burden on your family, but hunting monsters is too dangerous. Dad, don't worry, I have reached the 8th level now. I am only on the outside of the mountain range. There is no danger. Chen Zion said quickly. Of course, what happened tonight was purely accidental. What, you've already broken through to the 8th level? Didn't you just awaken the totem a few days ago? When Father Chen heard this, his eyes widened to the extreme, with a look of disbelief on his face. Oh, Dad, after all, I am an A-level totem. I am extremely talented. It is normal to be faster. Chen Zion said with a smile. Makes sense. I don't know why, but Father Chen's expression seems to be a little lonely again. Dad, what's wrong with you? Chen Zion felt that his father seemed a little strange. Why did he suddenly become emo? Dad, are you hiding something from me? Chen Zion asked seriously. Father Chen was slightly startled. Dad, I'm actually not stupid. Your legs were not paralyzed because of the car accident, right? Chen Zion said, looking directly at his father. Car accident, ha ha ha, Zion, you guessed it right. Your father and I used to be a 7th level strongman, how could it be possible that there would be a car accident? Father Chen threw his head back and laughed, but there seemed to be a hint of wistfulness in his eyes. What, Dad, what on earth is going on? Chen Zion was shocked and asked quickly. Father Chen calmed down and patted Chen Zion's shoulder gently. His eyes were full of expectation. Then he began to reminisce about the past. I used to be an outstanding student at Dingyuan Middle School, and I was successfully admitted to Sichuan University, one of the top 10 universities. Although my totem is only C level, the skills I have learned are very powerful, comparable to B level totems. Therefore, I can stand out among the powerful Nishikawa University. That period was my happiest time, but at the college league competition, I met a guy from Qingbei University. At that time, I was arrogant and stubborn, and I had a conflict with that person. Later, that guy secretly started to destroy my legs. Chen Zion was afraid of the case and was extremely angry. What? This person is really hateful. Because of a little conflict, his hands and feet will be disabled. Father Chen pulled Chen Zion down and sat down. Dad, that person's tricks are so cruel, shouldn't he be punished? When Father Chen heard this, he chuckled and shook his head. Punish? That's the young master of one of the 4 major families in Kyoto. Who dares to offend him for me, a guy from a small county? After hearing this, Chen Zion clenched his fists tightly. That person is also an A-level totem. But as for me, after all, I'm just a C-level totem. The school gave me a sum of money and wanted me to give up. I didn't want it, so I applied to drop out of school and left. Fortunately, your mother never left you, otherwise. Chen Zion stood up suddenly, his eyes sharp and firm. Dad, who is that person? I will avenge you. Father Chen smiled happily. Ziyin, that person has a huge background, and my father doesn't want you to be in danger. Father, don't worry, I'm not the kind of impulsive and brainless person. If I don't have enough strength, I won't act rashly. Father Chen looked at him, his face full of hesitation and struggle. Father, tell me, Chen Zion said firmly again. Well, Father Chen sighed quietly. In the end, it was difficult to make this decision. Ziyin, you have grown up too. Don't act out of impulse. Don't follow in my footsteps. Try not to offend those people with monstrous backgrounds. Father Chen advised. Chen Zion nodded. However, he had clenched his fists tightly. Don't worry, Dad, I won't put myself in danger until I have enough strength. Then Father, can you tell me who that person is now? Chen Zion asked, with a ball of angry flame still burning in his eyes. Father Chen hesitated for a while, and finally said, Lu Qingfang, the former eldest son of the Lu family, one of the 4 major families in the capital. Chen Zion engraved this name deeply in his mind. He vowed to avenge his father. Okay Zion, please go back to your room and rest. Afterwards, the 2 of them returned to the room. In the next period of time, Chen Zion traveled back and forth between the small mountain range and his home. His parents did not stop Chen Zion, but repeatedly told him to pay attention to safety. In 1 week, Chen Zion accumulated more than 2,000 points. View my dashboard. Name, Chen Zion. Close black lens bracket. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Close black lens bracket. Skill, Samadhi True Fire. Close black lens bracket. Cultivation, 8th grade 0.20. Close black lens bracket. Points, 15,620. Close black lens bracket. Item, none. Close black lens bracket. 15,000 points. With more than 4,000 points, I can break through to the 7th level. Chen Zion was very excited. However, he suddenly felt itchy. Would you like a 10th company? As soon as this idea came up, Chen Zion quickly pressed it down. But it popped up again after a while. In this way, let's do a 10-game series. If it's still guaranteed, we won't draw. Chen Zion finally made this difficult decision. Then, the huge turntable started spinning. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Comma. Another 9 thank yous for your patronage. Chen Zion's face darkened instantly. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Fiery Sword Purple ×1. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion was stunned. It was a bit surprising. I didn't expect to draw a spiritual weapon this time. In addition to practicing totems, weapons are also very important to the human race. Most warriors will choose a weapon that is convenient for them to practice. However, many people only start learning this after going to college. Approximately what grade of spiritual weapon is this flaming sword? Chen Zion couldn't help but ask. 7th grade spiritual weapon. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion nodded with satisfaction. I didn't expect that the purple one could explode a 7th grade spiritual weapon. You know, this kind of high-quality spiritual weapon is very precious. Because every spiritual weapon is made of many rare materials. A 7th grade spiritual weapon would probably cost hundreds of thousands or even millions, right? Chen Zion murmured. It's a guarantee again. I still don't believe it. Chen Zion was a little angry. After being smoked so many times, they were all guaranteed. He wasn't very convinced. Is my luck that bad? Or is this system too hacky? 10 more draws in a row. The turntable spun again. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Thank you for your patronage. Close black lens bracket. Comma. Another 9 guarantees. Congratulations to the host for obtaining skill selection double card. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion frowned. What does it mean to select a double card for this skill? System, let me explain. Skill selection double card. As the name suggests, when the host triggers the skill prize pool, using this card will change the original fixed skill reward to one of 5 skill selections. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion curled his lips. I thought I could choose one more skill, but after working on it for a long time, I just gave you a few more choices, but in fact I can only choose one. Oh no, doesn't one become 5? Why is it called a double card? Open black lens bracket, close black lens bracket. System, how many cigarettes have I smoked in total now? 50 draw. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion touched his chin and began to think. He had ignored the issue of skills before. Every time a warrior breaks through a level, he can increase his skill comprehension limit by 1 level. In other words, an 8th level cultivation can master 2 skills. Chen Zion still only has 1 skill. System, will the number of my skills be limited by my cultivation level? Open black lens bracket won't. However, the host can only comprehend up to 10 skills with a totem. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion felt happy after hearing this. Although before awakening the new totem, there was not much difference between his skills and others. However, once a new totem is awakened, it will be a qualitative leap. 1,000 draws. I don't know how long I will save it. Forget it, it's too far away, don't think about that. Let's take out the second skill first. Chen Zion thought for a while and decided to master the second skill before breaking through to the 7th level. Just 50 strokes. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Comma. Sure enough, a total of 45 thank yous for your patronage. It's all guaranteed. Congratulations to the host for obtaining physical strengthening pill purple ×1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining physical strengthening pill purple ×1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining aura concealment ability purple. Congratulations to the host for obtaining unknown fragment ×1. Congratulations to the host for obtaining choose one of golden items or skills. Please host choose skills. It is detected that the host has skill selection doubled. Do you want to use it? The system recommends using it. Use. Please host choose one of the following skills. 1. Violent. Entering a violent state, increasing all attributes by 10%. 2. Wing projection. Summons the phantom of the golden crow's wings, which looks very powerful and domineering. 3. Strengthening. You can strengthen a certain part or item at will. The strengthening effect lasts for 5 minutes. 4. Enlargement. The body becomes several times larger. 5. Wing shield. Spiritual power is condensed into wings, forming an absolute defense from 1 to 360 degrees without blind spots. Looking at the 5 skills with tears streaming down his face, Chen Zion didn't know what to say for a moment. The first violent one can be understood by basically all totems, generally. The second one is even more outrageous. It looks mighty and domineering, and then disappears. It seems to be a skill used to bluff and show off, but it is useless. As for the third and fourth, they are both average. I choose the fifth one, Wing Shield. Congratulations to the host for understanding the skill, Wing Shield. Afterwards, Chen Zion swallowed 3 physical enhancement pills directly. The next second, I felt a big warm current in my body. It flowed all over the body, including there. I go. Chen Zion felt it. I found that my physical ability had increased by nearly 30%. Said with no exaggeration. With his current physical strength, he has probably surpassed most 7th level warriors. By the way, can you please introduce the breath concealment ability? Breathe concealment ability. The host can hide his own breath. At the same time, the host can hide his own cultivation. Unless it is higher than the 2 major realms of the host, it will never be discovered. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion was delighted. This is a good thing. By the way, what is the use of this unknown fragment? Unknown. Chen Zion. Never mind. Look at my panel. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skills, Samadhi True Fire, Wing Shield. Special ability, Breath Concealment. Cultivation, 8th grade 0.20,000. Points, 8,620. Items, Unknown Fragment times 1, Fire Sword times 1. A full 7,000 points were consumed at once, and Chen Zion felt a pain in his body. But it can be regarded as gaining a second skill. With Wing Shield, he has a powerful defensive move. 1 offense and 1 defense make up for his shortcomings. At this time, Chen Zion felt a wave of spiritual power coming from his parents' room. This aura is 7th grade. I didn't expect Dad to recover to the 7th level of cultivation so quickly. Chen Zion was a little surprised. But it makes sense. After all, the amputated limb reshaping pill also has a strong effect on menstruation and marrow cleansing. Although Dad has missed the best time to practice, there should be no problem in breaking through to the 6th level after taking this pill. After all, Dad is also a C-level totem. But it's a pity that my mother's talent is relatively low, F-level totem, 9th level realm. It is estimated that it will be difficult to improve. Ah, Chen Zion stretched his waist. Jump out of bed. The weather is not bad today. Continue to hunt monsters. Chen Zion packed up and continued to the small mountain range. Old Li, what should we do now? Inside the small mountain range. The 2 middle-aged men were running wildly in a panic, glancing back from time to time. One of them is Chen Zion's class teacher Li Bo. Behind them, a large group of wind wolves followed. Wind wolf is just the most common 9th grade monster and is very weak. But wind wolves all live in groups, and there are nearly 100 wind wolves in a group. 109th level monsters, this number is really scary. It's over, they're catching up. Li Bo said with horror on his face. All the spiritual power circulated to his legs. But even so, the wind wolves behind him were getting closer and closer. Li Bo gritted his teeth, thinking that if he continued like this, he would never be able to escape. Lao Liang, let's fight them. Li Bo shouted angrily, then turned around and his spiritual power spurted out without reservation. A green eagle totem immediately formed behind him. D-level totem, Qi Feng Eagle. Okay, then kill a few more backup guys. Lao Liang responded fiercely, and then pulled out the long knife from his waist, and a tiger-shaped totem condensed on his back. What I mean is, give them a hard kick and try to scare them away. Li Bo said. Oh. Lao Liang nodded repeatedly. Immediately, the 2 rushed forward. Go crazy. Lao Liang shouted angrily. His body instantly emitted a reddish halo, and his strength surged. With 1 strike of the knife, a wind wolf was cut in half instantly. Eagle claw. A sharp claw attached to Li Bo's palms. His body became extremely flexible, jumping back and forth among the wolves, looking for opportunities to pounce. PFF'd. Flesh and blood flew everywhere. Blood continued to stain the 2 people's bodies. Both of them are at the 7th level of cultivation. Killing the 9th grade wind wolf is simply not easy. However, there are too many wolves. After a while, the 2 of them began to feel a little exhausted. Under siege, there are more and more colors on his body. Old Li, what should we do? These wolf cubs are getting more and more crazy when they see blood. Lao Liang gritted his teeth and struggled to resist the wind wolf that kept coming. Ouch! A wind wolf took the opportunity to pounce on his thigh, its sharp teeth piercing deeply. Ah! Lao Liang screamed in pain and slashed with his knife, sending the wind wolf flying. However, a large piece of meat was bitten off from his thigh, and the bones were exposed. Ah! Severe pain hit him. Lao Liang was sweating profusely, and he half knelt down. Old Liang. Seeing this, Li Bo immediately compressed the remaining spiritual power in his body, and then concentrated it on his right hand. Hurricane Claw. Li Bo slapped it with one palm. The huge claws formed by a strong wind drove back all the surrounding wind wolves. Li Bo quickly helped Lao Liang up. Lao Li, how much spiritual power do you still have? No more. The blow just now almost exhausted all my remaining spiritual energy. It seems that we are going to end up here this time. Lao Liang's eyes suddenly lost some of their sparkle. Li Bo took a helpless breath. The surrounding wind wolves gathered again. Surrounded by wolves, Feng Lang stared at Li Bo and Li Bo with his evil eyes. A few strands of crystal saliva flowed from the corners of the sharp-toothed mouth. It seemed like I saw some delicious food. It's over now. Li Bo was heartbroken. His spiritual power was exhausted, and severe pain continued to come from the wounds all over his body. The shadow of the sharp claw on the back of the hand has long since dissipated, and the power of the totem cannot be communicated at all. Thinking of his wife and lovely daughter at home, Li Bo immediately felt infinite sadness in his heart. I'm sorry, I failed to be a good husband and a good father. Li Bo closed his eyes. Accepted his fate. However, when he thought about the miserable life of his wife and daughter after his death, he felt very guilty. The salary in school is neither more nor less. In order to make more money for his family, Li Bo often went to small mountains to hunt monsters during holidays. After all, he is also at the 7th level. What dangers can he encounter in this small mountain range? But it turned out that this time, I was in trouble. I was unlucky and provoked a group of monsters. Now I can only die in the belly of the monster. I'm sorry, wife, I'm sorry, Anne. Li Bo closed his eyes and recalled the smiles of his wife and daughter in his mind. Ouch! The wind wolves roared, kicked their limbs fiercely, opened their mouths with sharp teeth, and rushed towards the two of them. Farewell, Li Bo murmured, but at this critical moment, a terrifying heat wave enveloped them instantly. Samadhi is really hot. Samadhi is really hot. Terrifying flames fell from the sky and instantly fell on the wind wolf. Then, the golden samadhi true fire spread rapidly among the wolves. Ouch! The wolves erupted in painful screams. The circle of wind wolves closest to Li Bo fell to the ground in an instant, and the golden samadhi true fire burned their bodies in an instant. The flames continued to spread. When the wind wolves in the outer circle saw this, they ran away. The entire mighty wind wolf pack collapsed in an instant. Li Bo and Li Bo looked at this scene in disbelief. Are we saved? The ever-burning flame seemed to have intelligence and completely avoided them. However, they could also feel the breath coming from the flames. Horrible. Just the burning breath they felt on their skin made them tremble with fear. If this fire falls on them, I'm afraid they will be like those wind wolves, turning into ashes in less than a second. Teacher Li. Li Bo was stunned for a moment and followed the sound. Chen Zion walked over, waved his right hand, and took back the Samadhi true fire from the wolf corpses. The true fire of Samadhi will never go out. If you don't take it back, the flames will continue to spread even if all the corpses are burned. Lao Li, do you know him? Lao Liang asked. At the same time, I wonder why the person in front of me looks so young. Well, he is my student. Your student. They are from the senior class 1 teach now. Quote exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark quote. Lao Liang was so shocked that he couldn't even speak. It's incredible that a senior high school student can easily deal with this group of wind wolves. And how could Li Bo's inner shock be overshadowed by that of Mr. Liang? He also heard the news about Chen Zion's victory over Su Han some time ago. I was shocked at that time. It was the totem he took with Chen Zion to awaken. How long has it been? You wouldn't even dare to write this in a novel. Teacher Li, what a coincidence. Are you also here to hunt monsters? Chen Ziyan said with a smile. That's right. Thanks to meeting you this time, otherwise, we would have died just now. Having said this, both Li Bo and Li Bo showed the joy of surviving the disaster on their faces. The situation just now was too critical. If Chen Ziyan had appeared 2 seconds later, the two of them would have been torn into pieces by the group of wind wolves. Call. The two breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Ziyan looked at the two of them, especially Lao Liang's thigh, where a large piece of meat had been torn off, and the bones were exposed. It looks really scary. Li Bo's body was not much better. His whole body was covered with blood. He didn't know how much was his and how much was Feng Lang's. Teacher Li, you are so seriously injured, how about I escort you back to the city? Chen Ziyan said, and quickly stepped forward to support Lao Liang. Thank you very much, little brother. Lao Liang said gratefully. Fine, Chen Ziyan said. He remembered Li Bo's care for him in the past 2 years. How could Chen Ziyan be stingy with such convenient help? By the way, Teacher Li, do you still remember where those wind wolves live? Chen Ziyan suddenly asked. He spent this time killing those monsters one by one. Time-consuming and laborious. Wouldn't it be wonderful if we could find the lair of these gregarious monsters and catch them all? Ziyan, you. Li Bo was naturally able to guess Chen Ziyan's purpose. But when they thought of the terrifying flames just now, the two of them gave up their worries. Going east from where we were before, there is a huge cave. That is where the wind wolves gather. But Ziyan, you have to be careful. Li Bo warned again and again. Chen Ziyan saved their lives and was his student. Naturally, Li Bo didn't want Chen Ziyan to be in danger. Don't worry, Teacher Li, I'm measured. Chen Ziyan said confidently. So, after sending the two of them out of the mountains, Chen Ziyan returned the same way. Following the direction Li Bo said, Chen Ziyan ran for half an hour and finally saw a huge cave. It was pitch black inside. It should be right here. Chen Ziyan walked in, spread his palms, and a golden flame immediately appeared. The entire cave was illuminated instantly. Ouch! There were waves of wolf howls coming from the depths of the cave, but they sounded a bit desolate. Chen Ziyan walked in and soon saw a large group of wind wolves. Hey, I finally found you. Chen Ziyan smiled excitedly. The group of wind wolves bared their teeth and pounced towards Chen Ziyan. Wing shield. A pair of golden illusory wings spread out from behind Chen Ziyan. Then Chen Ziyan was instantly wrapped up. Bang 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 bang. The group of wind wolves rushed forward as if they had hit a solid concrete wall. Then, a huge impact rebounded, and they were ejected instantly. Samadhi is really hot. After the wind wolf was bounced a certain distance, Chen Ziyan immediately released the Samadhi true fire. The terrifying flames instantly engulfed the wolves. Because in the cave, the space is limited. They have nowhere to hide. Chen Ziyan carefully stared at the wolves' injuries and immediately put back the flames after Feng Lang died. To avoid damaging the body too much. This Samadhi true fire is good for everything, but it will burn the body directly without paying attention, and the redeemed points will be greatly reduced. Chen Ziyan muttered in his heart. Soon, the wolves were lying in a huddle in the cave. The corpses were all roasted black and gave off a strong smell of meat. Exchange them all. Congratulations to the host for earning 4,500 points. Close black lens bracket. Woohoo. Ness. Chen Ziyan felt very comfortable. In just a short time, I earned more than 4,000 points. It's so cool. As expected, it's better to hunt these monster beasts to gain points. Chen Ziyan made up his mind to look for this kind of monster beasts from now on. Chen Ziyan turned around and left the cave. Having killed so many monsters just now, I didn't feel any compassion in my heart. Can someone really feel guilty about hunting monsters? These monsters can do a lot of harm to people. If it weren't for the current strength of the human race, it would be able to protect the weak ones. Those monsters might attack ordinary people. Monsters like to eat people, and humans can also steal useful materials from monsters. This relationship is doomed to create natural hostility between humans and monsters. Likewise, the hatred between humans and monsters is even more so. Chen Ziyan searched all afternoon and finally found another group of monster beasts inside the mountains. Cold snake. Most of them are of inferior and 9th grade strength. But there is an 8th grade leader of the tribe. Chen Xian's samadhi true fire happened to restrain them. Therefore, Chen Xian did not spend much effort to clear out all these cold snakes. The host receives 3,500 points. Close black lens bracket. Not bad. Chen Xian laughed with satisfaction. Unexpectedly, I gained 8,000 points in one day today. I was really overjoyed. The harvest is good today, let's finish the work early. Chen Xian hummed happily and walked towards Dingyuan County. He is not afraid that his voice will attract other monsters. Come and kill one by one. Chen Xian came back before the sun went down. When I walked in, my parents had already prepared a large table of food. Xian, why did you come back? Mother suddenly said with some reproach. Before Chen Xian could say anything, his mother pulled him to the living room. I saw a mother and daughter sitting on the sofa. Chen Xian took a closer look and saw that it was his cousin's family whom he had not seen for many years. Ziyin, call your aunt and your cousin. Auntie, cousin. Chen Xian said hello one by one. The aunt was dressed very delicately, wearing sunglasses, colorfully painted nails, and a bright red short skirt that covered her hips. A stark contrast to her mother who was simply dressed. When outsiders see them, it may be difficult to believe that they are a pair of sisters. And the mother is still younger. Long time no see, Xian. He's getting more and more handsome. It's a pity. Looking at Chen Xian's appearance, the aunt couldn't help but exclaimed. But it doesn't matter, Xian, even if you don't have a totem, with your face, as long as you are willing to put down your body, you can still live a good life. The aunt said with a wicked smile. She didn't know yet that Chen Xian had awakened the totem. Chen Xian frowned instantly. This aunt can actually say such things in front of her face. What does it mean? My aunt's family lives in the city and they still have a little money. Chen Xian's family is often hard to see clearly. I often blame my mother for why she insisted on being with my father in the first place. My mother's character is used to being gentle, but when faced with the tough aunt, she seems a bit weak in comparison. He. Chen Xian sneered twice. Sister, what are you talking about? Mother also frowned, a little angry. Normally, her aunt could say whatever she wanted, but when it came to Chen Xian, her mother would get angry. Oh, I just said it casually, just as a joke, don't pay attention. The aunt covered her mouth and chuckled twice. Although she was wearing sunglasses, Chen Xian could see the sarcasm in her every move. Even when the aunt was sitting, she would wipe it with a handkerchief from time to time, as if something dirty was stuck on it. Chen Xian felt angry again. If you dislike it so much, what else are you doing? Chen Xian has always disliked her aunt's family. Because he has a little money, and because Chen Xian's family conditions are not good. Therefore, my aunt's family always has a sense of superiority and points fingers at them. Okay, the food is ready. Let's eat. Father walked out of the kitchen and gently placed the last dish on the dining table. On the dinner table, Chen Xian was minding his own meal and didn't care about his aunt and daughter at all. Seeing Chen Xian devouring his food, his cousin glanced at him with disgust. My cousin was also dressed very exquisitely and hesitated for a long time with her chopsticks. His eyes kept looking at the chopsticks and bowl, and then a trace of disgust appeared on his face from time to time. How come my brother-in-law's legs are so good? The aunt couldn't help but ask curiously. After all, it had been more than 10 or 20 years, why did he suddenly feel better? It was a pill Xian got from the city lord that cured my leg. Father said with some pride. TCH, Lord City Lord. The aunt sneered. Forget it if you don't want to say it. Do you need to make up such outrageous words to lie to me? The aunt shook her head, vaguely angry. Sister, we really didn't lie to you. The mother wanted to explain, but before she could finish speaking, she was interrupted by her aunt. Sister, I will be angry if you do this again. Forget it if you don't want to say it, I won't blame you, but it would be a bit unethical to lie to me with such words. The aunt said. Seeing this, my mother had no choice but to sit down and say nothing more. Forget it if you don't believe it. By the way, our Ting is not in her first year of high school. She awakened her totem some time ago. Guess what level it is? A completely uncontrollable smile filled her face. Said very proudly. Chen Xian sneered in his heart. I said, why did Auntie suddenly come over? Turns out it was just to show off. Chen Zion was very disdainful. But he didn't say anything and continued to eat by himself. The aunt's eyebrows almost flew up and she looked proud and glanced at Chen Zion from time to time. Seeing that Chen Zion remained silent, she thought that Chen Zion had been stabbed in a sore spot. She couldn't help but feel a little happy. If you don't step on others, how can you show your superiority? When the cousin on the side saw this, she also puffed up her chest, like a proud peacock. It looks like it should be a good totem, right? Is it a D-level totem? Mother asked tentatively. Upon hearing this, the aunt immediately stood up, frowned, and said angrily. D-level. Ah, are you looking down on our Ting Ting? Seeing this, the father and mother laughed apologetically. No, no. How can we look down on Ting Ting? The cousin tilted her head and snorted coldly. How uneducated. When Chen Zion saw this, he snorted in his heart and became even more disgusted with this cousin and aunt. Isn't it just that a totem has been awakened? He even came here to show off. Who is he? Moreover, the most important thing is that the aunt's family knows that they have not awakened the totem for 2 years. Are you actually showing off your totem on purpose? Isn't this just adding salt to the wound? Chen Zion was speechless. It's really uncomfortable to have such a relative. Our Ting Ting has awakened a C-level totem. In their entire grade, there are less than 10 people who have awakened to C-level totems. The principal said that our Ting Ting can get into at least one of the top 10 universities in the country. The aunt said proudly. The proud smile on his face became even bigger. The cousin on the side had a rather cold face, but one could still see the pride hidden under that indifference. Ah, hey, I almost forgot that Zion didn't awaken a totem. At this time, the aunt suddenly covered her mouth with a surprised and self-blaming expression. I knew it. Chen Zion's eyes turned gloomy. The parents were also a little embarrassed and were at a loss for a while. Ziyin, my aunt didn't think well. Otherwise, I'll ask Ting Ting to show you her totem, which can be considered as making up for your regret. The aunt came closer, looking very concerned. The cousin next to him also glanced at him. Her eyes seemed to say, do you want me to give you alms? Chen Zion felt sick in his heart. Immediately, Chen Zion slowly put down his bowl and chopsticks and sat up straight. He gently wiped his mouth with a napkin. No need, I have a totem. No need, I have a totem. Chen Zion said lightly. His eyes couldn't help but become a little cold. The aunt was stunned. Cousin, it's not like we don't know your situation. There's no need, said the cousin. She felt that Chen Zion was too concerned about face and said this on purpose. Therefore, Chen Zion directly released the totem. The shadow of the golden crow appeared behind Chen Zion. In an instant, the terrifying power was released without reservation. It seems that a high-pitched cry can be heard faintly. Everyone's pupils were shocked. This. The aunt subconsciously stepped back, unable to stand still, and sat directly on the floor with her buttocks. With a look of horror on her face, my cousin stood up suddenly and took several steps back. She wasn't just shocked that Chen Zion had a totem. What shocked her the most was that the moment Chen Zion released the totem, the C-level totem in her body instantly concealed its aura. There is a huge sense of oppression. This shows that Chen Zion's totem level is higher than hers. You know, let alone Dingyuan County. Even in the whole city, there has only been one B-level totem in the past few years. How can it be? What level of totem are you? The cousin swallowed subconsciously, with a hint of fear in her eyes. Mine. Chen Zion snorted coldly. When I awakened, they said it was an A-level totem. Chen Zion said. He doesn't plan to reveal that he has an S-class totem yet. Otherwise it would be difficult to explain. A-level totem. The aunt and cousin's bodies shook violently, and their eyes instantly went blank. It took a long time to recover from this huge shock. At this moment, the two of them had no doubts. The terrifying momentum can already be proved. Especially my cousin, she really felt the sense of oppression at the totem level. If it was only B level, even if there was suppression, it wouldn't be so strong that it would almost make her breathless. Ziyin, put the totem away. Seeing the uncomfortable expressions on their faces, the mother quickly asked Chen Zion to take the totem back. Chen Zion said lightly, oh. The shadow of the golden crow behind him disappeared. The feeling of oppression in the living room disappeared instantly. Call The cousin took a breath. His right hand pressed on her rising and falling chest. Eat the vegetables, eat the vegetables. The vegetables are almost cold. Mother said quickly, trying to break the frozen atmosphere. Oh, okay. The aunt nodded quickly, picked up the chopsticks and picked up the piece of meat in front of her. The cousin on the side finally moved her chopsticks, no longer showing the same disgust as before. Just like that, the atmosphere at the dinner table became very awkward. Mother looked for a topic and chatted with her aunt word by word. The cousin was eating his meal sluggishly, as if he had not yet recovered from the previous shock. By the way, sister, Zion has awakened the totem, why didn't you tell me? You really treat me like an outsider, don't you? The aunt's tone became enthusiastic. He looked completely different from his previous arrogant appearance. I didn't find a chance to say it. Mother just smiled faintly. When I was young, I felt that Zion was extraordinary and would definitely achieve great things in the future. I was still surprised at first. How could Zion not be able to awaken the totem? I have accumulated a lot of experience in the past, and now I am able to awaken a grade A totem and become a blockbuster. The aunt started to flatter me. But the mother's face still had that broad smile. The father kept a straight face and said nothing the whole time. I've finished eating, please take your time. After Chen Zion finished speaking, he gently put down his chopsticks and walked straight towards the room without even looking at his aunt and cousin. Mother didn't say anything. Seeing this, the aunt looked a little embarrassed, and her eyes couldn't help but twitch a few times. There was a sudden surge of regret and anger in my heart. I regret that I got a little too carried away at that time. If I had known earlier, I should have asked first. As for the anger, it was because of Chen Zion's dismissive attitude towards her. She is his aunt after all. No respect for elders at all. But at this time, she didn't dare to show her displeasure. Zion eats very quickly, the aunt said with a smile. Mother smiled and nodded. Eat vegetables, eat vegetables. Comma 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 comma. After dinner, the aunt took her cousin and left in a hurry. Naturally, my mother did not stay. Even the words, "Come and play again next time," were not uttered. My father was lying on the sofa reading the newspaper with his legs crossed. In the future, we don't have to look at other people's eyes and suffer from their anger, said the father. This time, he breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Zion is very upbeat, otherwise, we don't know what kind of damage we would have suffered today, said the father angrily. Okay, just stop saying a few words. She is just like that. I don't want to have any contact with her in the future. My mother was also very angry about what happened today. What made her the most angry were her sister's remarks about Chen Zion and her deliberate display of totems in front of Zion. If Zion hadn't awakened the totem this time, how much harm would he have suffered? Even ordinary people cannot do this kind of thing, but her biological sister can do it. To be honest, Mother Chen was completely disappointed with her biological sister. Father Chen noticed the change in his wife, and immediately stood up and walked over, hugging her from behind. Don't be too sad. After Chen's mother washed the dishes, she suddenly thought of something and went back to the room to rummage for a while. She walked out, holding the bank card Chen Zion gave them. Honey, what do you mean? Chen took the bank card with some confusion. Ziyin's money should be spent on Ziyin. I thought, now that he has awakened his totem, he is still at level A. We must not waste his talent. So, take the money here and buy a better weapon for Zion. I don't understand these things, so you can only buy it, Mother Chen said. Okay. Father Chen nodded. He actually had this idea in mind, but due to financial pressure, he never put it forward. Dad, Mom. At this time, Chen Zion happened to come out to use the toilet and heard the conversation between the two. Take the money, I have no shortage of weapons. Chen Zion came over and said seriously. Ziyin, I know you are sensible and want to reduce the burden on your family, but your future is more important, and we must not save this money. Mother said anxiously. No, I mean I already have a weapon, Chen Zion said, and then summoned the fiery sword that he had drawn before. In an instant, the temperature in the whole room rose a lot. The parents were suddenly shocked. Especially my father. With his cultivation, he could clearly sense the powerful aura in the fiery sword. No longer weaker than a 7th grade spiritual weapon. Ziyin, where did your sword come from? The city lord gave it to me. It's from the lord of the city again. The parents were shocked. Why does the city lord always give things to Zion? The preciousness of that broken limb reconstruction pill is self-evident. This is another spiritual weapon close to the 7th grade, equally priceless. Ahem. Father Chen didn't know what he was thinking of and quickly approached Chen Zion's ear and asked solemnly, Zion, tell me honestly, the city lord, does he have that habit? I'll tell you, no matter how poor we men are, we can't do that kind of business of selling our butts. Dad, what are you thinking? Chen Zion pushed his father away speechlessly. What's going on in Dad's head? I just did the city lord a big favor, and with my unparalleled talent, isn't it normal for the city lord to value me? Chen Zion glared at his father. That's good, that's good. Father Chen breathed a sigh of relief. You're such a shameless old man, what do you think about every day? Chen's mother went up and grabbed Chen's father's ears. It hurts, it hurts. City Lord's mansion. Sir, a young woman came from outside the house and asked to see you. She asked me to give this to you. The guard handed over a token. Chen Wei frowned and thought to himself that he was not flirting with women outside. Where did this young woman come from? Chen Wei took the token and saw clearly the large gilt character on it, Sha. Chen Wei's expression changed instantly, he quickly put on his clothes and ran out. Grown-ups. The guard followed him with a look of shock on his face. I thought to myself that the city lord looked so panicked. Could it be that the woman outside had an extraordinary origin? Could it be that he's from the province? Chen Wei ran to the door and saw a woman wearing a tight-fitting armor standing outside. The woman's appearance is delicate and handsome, and she has sharp eyebrows and starry eyes that are not like those of ordinary girls. She looks like a female general. I've kept you waiting. Please come in, please come in. With a smile on his face, Chen Wei quickly invited the woman into the house, and at the same time carefully handed the token back to the woman. Then, he said to the guard on the side, go and make a pot of good tea. Sir, there is no more Longjing tea in the house. What about the others? It's all gone, only some small can of tea that madam bought from who knows where. What? Why haven't you heard of it? At this time, the young woman coughed dryly and said quickly, no, just give me a glass of water. Why don't you go quickly? Chen Wei urged quickly. The guard went down immediately. Let me introduce myself. My name is Xiaoling. I come from the Southwest Military Region. Master Chen can just call me Xiaoxia. I wonder if Mr. Xiaoxia suddenly came to my remote small county town for some urgent business. Chen Wei couldn't help but ask. Not everyone can get the token that the woman gave him just now. At least for him, the city lord of a remote county, the token was enough to influence his life and death. But what makes Chen Wei feel fortunate is that this young woman's attitude is still very good, and she doesn't have that kind of condescending contempt. At this time, the guard brought a glass of water and then withdrew. Xiaolinger drank it in one gulp and then made a cheerful sound. It seemed that running all the way made her very thirsty. Here's the thing. A few years ago, a small-scale war between humans and monsters broke out on the southwest border. Although the monsters quickly withdrew their troops, they secretly took the opportunity to insert many monsters into the monsters in the southwest. We have been constantly investigating and eliminating these monsters that have sneaked in over the years. Some time ago, I discovered a hidden monster in the southwest mountains. But the monster was very cunning and escaped from my hands several times. I chased it all the way, and the monster escaped all the way to a small mountain range outside Dingyuan County. After hearing this, Chen Wei's heart suddenly tightened. He felt the aura of the young woman in front of him, and her strength was probably not inferior to his own. But even so, the demon was able to escape from her hands again and again, which shows that the demon is definitely not simple. May I ask, Lord Xiaoxia, what is the specific strength of the monster you are chasing? Xiaolinger called the guard again and poured a glass of water and drank it, then continued, that demon is an ice attribute demon that is very good at speed, the extreme cold demon rabbit, 6th level. Chen Wei nodded, not too worried. If they were just 6th grade monsters, the two of them would be enough to kill each other if they were two strong 6th grade men. But, in these few fights, I can feel that the dead rabbit has touched the 5th level obstacle avoidance. What? Chen Wei was shocked. 5th grade. This is incredible. A 5th level demon clan, even if 10 6th level warriors come, they will only be beaten in seconds. That dead rabbit has slowed down its escape recently and deliberately concealed its aura. I guess it may be looking for an opportunity to break through to the 5th level. This time the tower deliberately hid in a small mountain range. I'm afraid it's about to break through to the 5th level. So, I came to the city lord this time, hoping that the city lord can help me deal with this dead rabbit. Sha Linger said solemnly. Sir Xiaosha, I should have cooperated with your work unconditionally. Besides, the demon clan has been the enemy of our human race for generations, and now it has come to my jurisdiction. It is my responsibility to kill this demon. Chen Wei patted his chest impassionedly and said, Thank you, Mr. Chen. Sha Linger quickly stood up and saluted Chen Wei with cupped fists. Master Xiaosha is so polite. Chen Wei quickly stood up and held her fist. However, thinking of the differences between men and women, Chen Wei immediately retracted his hand. Master Xiaosha, please stay in the mansion tonight. Early tomorrow morning, I will lead the escort into the small mountain range to search for the monster. Thank you very much, Mr. Chen. However, please don't make too much noise, so as not to panic the residents in the city. Don't worry, Mr. Xiaosha, I naturally know this. So, Chen Wei immediately asked someone to clean up an empty room and arranged for Sha Linger to live there. The extremely cold demon rabbit. That guy Chen Zion should be able to restrain his flames, right? Chen Wei suddenly thought of Chen Zion, but then shook his head. Forget it, what was I thinking? That's a demon clan close to the 5th level. It's too dangerous for Chen Zion. Chen Wei murmured and shook the thought out of his mind. Sleep, I'll probably be busy again tomorrow. Chen Wei yawned and walked towards his bedroom. Small mountains. Chen Zion ran out early in the morning. The monsters and beasts basically live in the inner periphery. Generally speaking, there will be a leader in a group of monsters, and the leader will be stronger. In this small mountain range, most of the leaders of the monster group are at the 7th or 8th level. The 7th grade can basically be regarded as the overlord of one party. There are probably not many 6th grade monsters in the entire mountain range. This group of monster beasts is really hard to find. Chen Zion murmured. Didn't feel too disappointed though. Although the monster beast group is difficult to find, once you find it, it will be worth thousands of points. Therefore, for these thousands of points, Chen Zion still searched patiently. Finally, he discovered a huge pool of water. There are many sharp-horned demon deer surrounding the pool. In order not to be alarmed, Chen Zion immediately concealed his presence. Just in case, first find out the strength of this group of monsters. If there is a leader with 7th level cultivation, Chen Zion will retreat. Chen Zion is currently at the 8th level of cultivation, but with the blessing of the S-level Golden Crow Totem, he is enough to defeat 7th level monsters. But there's a problem. In a group with a 7th grade monster as its leader, there will inevitably be other 8th grade monsters, as well as a bunch of 9th grade monsters. There were too many, and Chen Zion probably couldn't handle them. He glanced around. Chen Zion only found 2 sharp-horned demon deer with 8th level cultivation. The rest are all at the 9th level. Done. Chen Zion jumped up and jumped out of the grass. A demon deer with an 8th level cultivation level was the first to react and hurriedly chirped to signal to the surrounding tribesmen. As a result, the horned demon deer gathered together instantly and surrounded Chen Zion. As everyone knows, this is exactly what Chen Zion meant. Isn't it convenient for Chen Zion to gather together? Thank you. Chen Zion cupped his fists and thanked the chirping demon deer. The demon deer couldn't understand what Chen Zion said, but he could hear the sarcasm. So, he became a little angry for a moment. Chen Zion hid his aura, and the demon deer could not sense Chen Zion's cultivation. He took it for granted that Chen Zion was an ordinary person with no cultivation. The horned demon deer kept rubbing their hooves on the ground, ready to charge at any time. The sharp horns, as sharp as blades, looked a bit dazzling under the sunlight. Tremble under the fire. Chen Zion shouted loudly, then waved his palms, and the terrifying samadhi true fire flew out like a sharp arrow. The moment the flame appeared, the demon deer felt the terrifying pressure and immediately wanted to scatter and escape. But before they surrounded Chen Zion, didn't they restrict his actions? The samadhi true fire fell and instantly ignited the surrounding area to form a sea of fire. Then, Chen Zion drew out the fiery sword, jumped up, and flew to the top of the two 8th grade demon deer. Cut. The fiery sword drew a fiery red light tail in the air, and the sharp blade instantly cut the bodies of the two 8th grade demon deer in half. Frightened by the Samadhi true fire, the two demonic deer panicked and failed to dodge Chen Zion's attack. Receive. Chen Zion waved his hand and took back the Samadhi true fire around him. Many of the carcasses of the surrounding sharp-horned demon deer were also burned. However, the value should not be discounted too much. Exchange them all. System under evaluation. Congratulations to the host for earning 5,300 points. Close black lens bracket. Exclamation mark exclamation mark exclamation mark. There are actually more than 5,000. Chen Zion was shocked. Wait a minute, do I already have 20,000 points? Quick, check my information panel. Name, Chen Zion. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skills, Samadhi True Fire, Winged Shield. Special ability, Breath Concealment. Cultivation, 8th grade 0.20,000. Points, 21,920. Items, Unknown Fragment times 1, Fire Sword times 1. The points are already close to 22,000. Chen Zion was extremely excited and quickly took a deep breath to calm down. System, improve your cultivation. Do you want to spend 20,000 points to upgrade your cultivation level to level 7? Close black lens bracket. Yes, hurry. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to level 7. Close black lens bracket. In an instant, the spiritual power in Chen Zion's body surged again. The meridians also expanded several times in an instant. The stream-like spiritual energy instantly turned into large rivers of condensed spiritual energy. Then, the totem conveyed a warm current. It feeds back into the body, and flows throughout the body as the spiritual power flows. Just the physical strength has increased several times. It is no exaggeration to say that Chen Zion feels that he can kill several cows with one punch now. How many points are needed to break through level 6? Chen Zion asked. Breaking through the 6th level requires 200,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion. NMMD so much. But this is reasonable. The improvement brought about by every breakthrough in realm is exponential growth. The points required are getting more and more, which is very reasonable. Only, how long do I have to save 200,000 points? At this time, Chen Zion suddenly noticed something strange. A 7th level monster is approaching quickly. Now Chen Zion has also broken through to the 7th level. No more fear at all. Hiss. What came was a demon deer with sharp horns. Seeing Chen Zion hunting down its tribesmen, the sharp-horned demon deer was instantly furious. He rushed up directly. TCH. Looking for death. Chen Zion raised the fiery sword. The demon deer's sharp horns thrust forward, just touching the blade of the fiery sword. In an instant, fierce sparks burst out. Chen Zion pushed the demon deer away with a strong force. Now Chen Zion's strength has been greatly improved. Even when facing monsters, he is not inferior. It's my turn. Chen Zion shouted loudly, stepped hard with his right foot, and his body flew out instantly like a missile. Cut. The fiery sword slashed down at such a high speed that it even seemed to ignite the air. The sharp-horned demon deer raised its head and immediately released the aura of its 7th grade demonic beast. If an 8th or 9th grade warrior felt this aura, he would be crushed to the point of being unable to move in an instant. However, it was of no use to Chen Zion, who was also at level 7. The pupils of the sharp-horned demon deer dilated to the extreme, and then lost their energy. The body broke into 2 halves and fell heavily. Exchange. Congratulations to the host for earning 600 points. Close black lens bracket. Chen Zion was a little surprised. Unexpectedly, a 7th grade monster is worth 600 points. At this time, Chen Zion discovered that the sharp-horned demon deer had left water stains all along the way. There seemed to be a few traces of frost condensing on the corpse of the demon deer. Ice. Why is there ice on this sharp-horned demon deer? Chen Zion frowned, a little confused, so he followed the traces of the demon deer. Strangeness. Chen Zion followed the water stains all the way to the core of the small mountain range. If Chen Zion remembered correctly, the ice spirit snake that he helped the city lord solve before was also in the core. The core area is inhabited by very powerful monsters. Several 6th grade monsters, and several 7th grade monsters with powerful bloodlines. Chen Zion concealed his aura. If he was besieged by a few 6th grade monsters, he would really not get much benefit. As he entered deeper and deeper, Chen Zion had some thoughts of going back home. Really? Chen Zion murmured, constantly pushing aside the obstacles in front of him. Soon, a huge cave appeared in front of him. Chen Zion frowned. The cave continued to exude a cold atmosphere, and the surrounding rocks were covered with layers of thin ice. Obviously, there is a very powerful ice attribute monster inside. If it were to face other 6th grade monsters, Chen Zion might not have much confidence yet. However, Chen Zion's Samadhi True Fire can restrain the ice attribute monsters. Therefore, Chen Zion wanted to hunt the monster in the cave. Looking at this aura, it must be a 6th grade monster. But why does it feel like it's stronger than the ice spirit snake before? Chen Zion frowned and hesitated for a moment. While Chen Zion was carefully exploring the entrance of the cave, a terrifying wave of air suddenly came from the cave. This wave of air carried a biting chill. The coldness almost solidified, as if it had turned into ice picks, stabbing directly at him. Chen Zion's pupils trembled and he quickly took a few steps back. With a wave of his right hand, the golden Samadhi True Fire ignited and turned into a wall of air fire. Those solid ice cones began to melt before they came into contact with the wall of fire. In just a moment, they vaporized directly. All go. What the hell? Chen Zion quickly became vigilant and tensed up. I don't know when I clenched the fiery sword tightly in my hand. Yo, I thought it was that annoying woman, but I didn't expect it to be a kid. Suddenly a cold female voice came from the cave. Chen Zion was instantly terrified. Continuously retreat. But soon, an extremely powerful pressure instantly enveloped Chen Zion. I go. Chen Zion felt like a huge mountain was pressing down on him, making him unable to breathe. This powerful pressure cannot be unleashed by a 6th grade monster. With Chen Zion's current 7th level strength, if he only faced a 6th level monster, he wouldn't be in such an embarrassing situation at all. Moreover, human voices came from the cave, which meant that they were not monsters but monsters. No, it's too dangerous here. Chen Zion didn't hesitate and ran away immediately. However, the coercion on his body increased again, directly forcing Chen Zion to the ground. Golden Crow. Chen Zion shouted loudly, the spiritual energy in his body surged, and a golden shadow of flames instantly condensed behind him. The moment the Golden Crow totem appeared, most of the pressure on his body dissipated. Chen Zion quickly climbed up and escaped from the cave entrance as quickly as possible. Cut. Still want to escape? The voice snorted coldly, and then a powerful aura hit him again. Boom. There was a loud noise, and several huge ice mirrors rose from the ground, sealing Chen Zion firmly at the entrance of the cave. Holy shit. Looking at himself reflected in the ice mirrors around him, Chen Zion felt a little at a loss. Samadhi is really hot. With a wave of his big palm, golden flames instantly fell on the ice mirror in front of him. Aha! The true fire of Samadhi ignited instantly. The huge ice realm was quickly disintegrated, and the melted water vapor evaporated instantly. Not a single trace was left. This is the domineering power of Samadhi True Fire. Even this extremely solid ice mirror can melt and evaporate in an instant. Oh, interesting. The voice in the cave was obviously very shocked. However, this made Chen Zion feel even more hairy, because the voice was getting closer and clearer. The next second, a figure appeared at the entrance of the cave. Chen Zion took a closer look. It is a rabbit with blue and white hair. The body is huge, as tall as Chen Zion. Moreover, there are huge ice picks growing on the top of the head. The most hair-raising thing is that those strange blue pupils seem to exude the coldness of the netherworld. It's chilling and terrifying. At this moment, Chen Zion only had one thought in his mind. That is, run. Run with all your might. I'm afraid this rabbit is no longer a 6th grade demon clan. Chen Zion quickly transferred the spiritual power in his body to flow to his legs. Boom. The spiritual power burst out without sparing any effort. Chen Zion rushed out in an instant. Human, you can't run away. The rabbit said coldly, and the hair on its body stood up instantly. The chill came again. The mountains, which had already entered winter, suddenly fell into extreme cold. It was as if he was frozen under 10,000 years of black ice. In just a moment, the blood of a living being can be frozen. Feeling the terrifying aura coming from behind, Chen Zion was shocked. Wing shield. The huge golden crow shadow appeared behind him again. The wings closed together, firmly protecting Chen Zion inside. Each feather is a burning golden flame. The terrifying heat wave kept the oncoming chill outside. Seeing this, the huge blue and white rabbit's pupils shrank suddenly. The aura coming from this human race should only be around the 7th level, but it can actually withstand my cold wave. Moreover, the flame he released earlier actually made even me a little afraid. What is the totem of this human race? If this flame is really his skill, there is no doubt that this human totem is at least a level. No, I have seen the human race with A-level totems. They can't cross such a huge realm and suppress me. Could it be that? Thinking of this, the rabbit couldn't help but breathe quickly. That very shocking guess instantly stirred up a storm in his ordinary heart. Could it be that in this remote small county, someone can actually awaken the legendary S-level totem? It quickly calmed down the shock in its heart and suddenly remembered something. But hasn't the human race been cursed, making it impossible for S-class totems to appear? Could it be said that the human race has broken this curse? This matter is far more important than an S-level totem. No, we have to take this human race back. Its eyes became colder and more sinister. The spiritual power in the body burst out without reservation. Frozen for thousands of miles. Frozen for thousands of miles. The words fell. An extremely terrifying aura spurted out instantly, but the most deadly thing was the cold air mixed with this aura. Extreme cold. A cold wind blew through. Everything he passed was frozen into ice, and the vegetation and soil solidified instantly. The squirrel picking up pine cones turned into an ice sculpture, its heart stopped beating and its blood froze. Holy shit! Chen Zion looked at the cold air coming towards his face, and his heart tightened for a moment. The spiritual power in the body was released without reservation, and it was all condensed on the pair of illusory wings in front of him. Wing shield. The golden crow totem behind Chen Zion also became somewhat solidified under the nourishment of this spiritual power. The feather fire on both wings also burned a little more intensely. At this time, not far away, Chen Wei, Xiaolinger and others noticed the movement here. It's that dead rabbit. Xiaolinger's pupils trembled. Even though she was far away, she felt the powerful chill. The breath coming from it. 5th grade. Oops. That dead rabbit has already reached the 5th level. How come it's so fast? Xiaolinger was extremely shocked. According to her estimation, if the extreme cold demon rabbit wants to break through to the 5th level, it will not be so smooth. It will probably take a week or two. There is even a high probability that the breakthrough will fail. But it had only been a day, and the aura of the extremely cold demon rabbit had broken through to the 5th level. Master Xiaoxia, this demon rabbit has broken through to the 5th level, what should we do? Chen Wei said solemnly. It's not that he's scared, it's just that even if 10 6th grade warriors join forces, they can't defeat a 5th grade demon clan. One product is a mountain, one product is a heaven and earth. This is no joke. What's more, the demon clan also has the innate advantage of the physical body. There is no difference between them going up like this and dying. However, Xiaolinger did not give up, but lowered her head and fell into deep thought. After a while, she slowly raised her head, a firm look flashed in her eyes. Master Chen, I still have a trump card, and I am sure to kill that demon rabbit. Are you willing to help me? Xiaolinger turned her head to look at Chen Wei and asked solemnly. Chen Wei looked straight into Xiaolinger's eyes. Those eyes that were as clear and moving as autumn water reflected a sense of perseverance. Chen Wei nodded. Since Mr. Xiaoxia is confident, I will naturally do my best to help kill this monster. Otherwise, this monster rabbit will also be a huge hidden danger to us in Dingyuan County. Chen Wei said firmly. After all, as the lord of a city, he naturally wants to eliminate this threat. Thank you, Mr. Chen, for your trust. Xiaolinger clasped her fists and said with a bit of gratitude in her eyes. After all, just because he said, I am sure, he was willing to kill the 5th level demon clan with him. Even the most trusted comrades may not be able to do this kind of thing. Then they should retreat further to avoid being affected by the demon rabbit. Linger said to the guards on the side. There is only one 7th level person in this group of people, and the rest are at the 8th level realm. If you are facing a 6th grade demon clan, you can barely help. But now that the extreme cold demon rabbit has broken through to the 5th level, these people are just going to die and are completely a burden. Chen Wei naturally understood this, and ordered the escort to retreat to the inner edge of the mountain range. Immediately, Linger and Chen Wei looked solemn and immediately headed to the core of the mountain range. The direction from which the extremely cold breath came. The terrifying cold wind finally stopped. Everything around the cave turned into a blanket of snow white. The ice sculptures were shining with dazzling luster under the sunlight. How can it be? The extreme cold demon rabbit looked at the scene in front of him with a look of disbelief. In the snow-white world, there is a golden thing suddenly. It was Chen Ziyan who used the winged shield. The extreme cold demon rabbit was extremely shocked. This move of frozen 1,000 miles is its most powerful move. It consumed half of its spiritual power. But even so, it still failed to break the human race's defense. The weak human race in front of me is only at the 7th level. It's 2 levels below it. That's for sure. Being able to cross 2 realms and resist my strongest move is enough to show that his totem is extraordinary. Besides the legendary S-class totem, there is no other possibility. The eyes of the extremely cold demon rabbit became increasingly cold. No matter what, we must capture the human being in front of us today. Even if you can catch this move, how much spiritual power do you still have left? The extreme cold demon rabbit snorted coldly, then kicked off his legs and rushed out. Hoo. Chen Ziyan gasped for air, and the condensed wings in front of him finally dissipated. He has exhausted all his spiritual energy. I should have been more cautious if I had known earlier. Chen Ziyan felt extremely regretful. Having broken through to the 7th level before, he felt a little carried away, feeling that he could walk sideways in the entire small mountain range. So I took it a little bit lightly, not as cautious as before. Sure enough, you must remain cautious at all times. Chen Ziyan blamed himself a little, but did not give up hope. Although his spiritual power is now exhausted, he still has a system. He still has more than 2,500 points. With 25 draws, he might be able to draw something that would allow him to make a comeback. For example, the limited time breakthrough card that I drew before. If Chen Ziyan could possess the strength of the 6th grade now, then he would have the power to rival this extremely cold demon rabbit. Even if he is not in good condition now, at least he can escape unscathed. Therefore, Chen Ziyan did not hesitate anymore. System, use all my remaining points for lottery draws, draw them directly. Quick. Chen Ziyan shouted in his heart, wishing he could skip the 25 drawing animations at once and go directly to the last item drawn. The host, please confirm whether to spend 2,500 points and skip the lottery process at once. Close black lens bracket. Chen Ziyan was speechless. At this time, the system actually wanted any confirmation. Did he think he didn't die fast enough? But it was too late for Chen Ziyan to scold the system. Because the situation is really critical. The huge body of the extremely cold demon rabbit had already rushed over, and the overwhelming pressure instantly enveloped Chen Ziyan. There is no way to hide, there is no way to avoid it. There is only a lottery. Chen Ziyan was very anxious and quickly wanted to confirm the system's questions. However, at this moment, a huge sword light suddenly fell from the sky. Boom! There was a loud bang. Terrifying energy spurted out instantly, and the body of the extreme cold demon rabbit quickly took dozens of steps back. Chen Ziyan turned around and saw 2 figures running towards him. It was Chen Wei and Linger. Chen Ziyan, why are you here? I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.